笑顔の魔法 In plain view, over and over. Speed up to is far from over. In plain view, over and over. Join me to gaming that over.
power of technology, I have moved over into the indie corner, and I've
transported yourself.
I have, magically. We'll never find out how exactly. But I'm joined by the indie games expert, Riley. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. My ident says enthusiast because expert, I don't want to say I'm an expert by any means, but I do love a good indie game, and boy have we got some very cool ones to take a look at as a part of our indie showcase.
Yes, I think you're right, and I think on that note, we should probably get things kicked off because I'm excited. There's a whole host of different games, so many different genres. It's gonna be great.
Right, let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms.
Not sure what to expect here.
Blasted! This is not over. Die! This time you will fall before my wrath.
Oh,
Yes!
not what I was expecting, but I love the little twist.
Interesting. I love that they left a lot up to us to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I'm familiar with that, like, ever so slightly. So it exists within, like, the Dungeons and Dragons realm.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, yeah. So that's the... I don't know if that's a spoiler. I mean, it can't be a spoiler, right?
Well, I guess I'll just have to play the game.
You just have to play the game, exactly. But yeah, I know that much. So that looks really cool.
Nice. Should we take a look at the next one?
I say so. Let's do it.
Hello, Sarah.
Yes, some hunted characters. I'm like, where is this going?
He needs help to take back his throne, Shay.
Oh no! Someone's got to do it. I guess it's going to have to be me.
It's have to be me. This looks like a visual novel.
Yeah, getting that vibe. Oh.
Hello. Dagroth.
Okay, so we got like an elf and like orcs kind of rivalry going on.
I stopped paying attention as soon as the orcs came up.
Yeah, but there's a lot of distractions on the screen right now.
I'm lost. Hello, Khan. We should see what he offers. I won't let a sexy option.
No, I will not. Oh,
Oh, good heavens!
it's suddenly gotten quite warm in here.
Orc Covenant. It's a visual novel dating sim.
Yeah.
So elves dating orcs.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. Things are looking a bit explicit, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking that one out.
Yeah, that's one that's being wished
privately after the event. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Shall we have a look at the next one?
I think so. I think that's going to be setting the tone for the rest of this showcase.
If there's no sexy orcs in this one, I'll be very disappointed. Vampire Slate, sexy vampires. Yes, yes. He mistakenly turned his enemy into his familiar. We love an enemies turned lover story.
We do love that. My favourite trope, I swear.
Yeah.
Okay, and a bit of angst as well.
A bit of teen angst. Thalos bites him. They have to work together. I love that.
I love it. I love it.
Can he resist Thalos' dark desires for him? Good luck. Another sexy visual novel.
Yeah, I'm sensing a theme here.
Listen, that's the thing with indie games. When you're an indie game developer, you can make what you want to see. You can make what you want to play. If you're into sexy vampires and you're a game dev, make yourself a sexy vampire game. I am so down for that. I really think that visual novels as sort of like a game base, I think we have a lot of them involved in the Indie Showcase. I think they're a great way for especially developers who might not necessarily have like this huge backing like AAA game funding and all the support. So visual novels, I think, I'm not saying it's easy to make a visual novel by any means. I couldn't do any of this, but I think it's a great way to showcase your interest and your passions for games in a sort of more approachable fashion than, for example, like a larger scale game that involves a lot more things at the back end. So I think visual novels, I think we're going to see a lot of them, are just a great way, especially for LGBTQ plus game devs to tell their stories quite literally.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the same. Like, you know, it allows you to explore loads of different themes without having to worry about, you know, voice acting or like different mechanics. Like, you kind of can strip it down to the basics and kind of focus on the story and hopefully explore, loads of different elements, which clearly there's going to be loads of different
different elements and themes.
Yeah.
I wonder what other sexy mythical creatures we're going to be seeing throughout these games.
Do you have any predictions? So we've seen like
We've
orcs
seen
and elves
vampires
and
orcs
vampires.
and elves. I think I'm letting my imagination run away with me a little bit. Should we take a look at the next trailer?
Okay, yeah, we're getting all sci-fi now.
I saw a corgi. I love corgis. On the run from your ex. Me too, bestie. Really interesting art style.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's really striking. Oh, I love this. It also reminds me a lot of like Sable, like in the best way.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. It seems there's like a management sim aspect to it.
Yeah, it seems a lot more in depth.
Really like the look of this so far. Loads of different like gameplay mechanics.
The art style is really cool.
Journey to an uncertain end.
Available now. Another one that I think is the art style is really interesting. Like that's the thing with games as well. When you're an indie game dev, you can make a game in any art style that you want. Like with indie games, that's where you see the most diverse style of art. Like with AAA titles, it's a lot of like face models and CGI and things like that. But when it comes down to just what you want to draw, what you want to see, you can see so many different diverse art styles and diverse people.
Exactly.
You see the people that they were drawing in that game, there was just like a group of real people. Like no group of people looks the same as each other, and I just think that that's a great way of using your skills and using your powers as a game dev to show the kind of community that you want to be.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I saw a character with like Bantu knots, which is like a style that I wear like all the time, but I rarely, if ever, see that in video games. So to see it here is just like fantastic. And yeah, you're so right. You know, when you're not like trying to appeal to the majority, and I use that like very, very loosely, you can play around with different art styles and people will naturally flock to that. So,
absolutely. And I love, like you said, with the hair diversity, that's another thing that you don't really see in mainstream media. With some of the character creation things that are coming in AAA games, like it still lacks like POC hairstyles and things like that. So even though it is getting more and more diverse, it's still miles behind indie games.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's time now for another trailer.
Deadly virus and civilization. The first infection.
Oh, not the direction I thought it was going to take. I thought it was going to be, you know, like a third-person adventure.
Like a pandemic.
Yeah, it looks like it's a dating sim in the age of a pandemic, which I am not opposed to at all.
Yeah. The infection has spread and our time is running out. Is it a sexy infection?
Is there such a thing?
I guess we'll find out. I guess what we'll find out. Are they shooting the infection?
Oh.
The future rests on their shoulders. Red Ops, the first infection. Oh, a little flash at the end there.
I mean, I can't because of my skin tone, but if I could, I'd be blushing right now. Like, it just... I'll
blush for the both of us.
Please. Oh my god. So I think if you're into like hunky characters, like hot characters, this is your home now. Like, I think this is very much
welcome.
the right place to be.
No, I love that they left a lot of questions about that one, like the gameplay style and things like that. But they definitely hooked us in, for sure.
I'm locked in. I also think like one thing I find sometimes quite frustrating with AAA games is like they sort of avoid like the topic of like sex and like sexuality and like attraction like on a very, very like raw level. So to see it here like represented like in full force, I'm so happy to see.
Yeah, like you said, I think that sex and sexuality is such an important part of who we are as beings, even if you're asexual and things like that. It still defines us a little bit when we're adults, and playing games like this is a nice way of experiencing that, because like you said, with AAA games, like it's kind of an untapped market, really. There's never really any aspects like that in the games.
Especially to have it handled with care, which I'm no doubt these games are doing.
Should we take a look at the next one?
I think so.
Rated T for teen.
Oh, a Switch one.
Ooh. I love this hat already. Into
In
this.
Stars and Time. Very witchy. I'm in my witchy era.
I love it. Oh. Okay. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's like a
you
roguelike.
restart, you're stuck in a time loop.
And apparently it's very easy to die. Oh, this looks cool.
I love the art style. I'm getting like Gravity Falls vibes.
Yeah. A little bit of like Undertale. I mean, that's mostly just from like the sort of
The black and white.
Yeah. It sort of reminds me as well of like I don't know if you played Eastward, but there's a sort of like hidden mechanic in there that kind of reminds me of this art style.
And it's a love story. Oh!
Oh, this is so cute.
Really cute.
Everything's fine. It probably isn't, but I love the optimism.
Fine. Stars and Time. I love that. Very cute art style. Really interesting game type. The first one we've seen of that kind of variety in this showcase. I really think that that's the kind of art that I would see like 10 years ago on Tumblr, you know what I mean? And that was in the Tumblr era. And so it's nice to see that those people who had like a social media way to share their art are now turning their art into their work and their passion. And games, I think, is a great way to literally take something you love and showcase it to the world. I mean, that's what we're doing here, aren't we?
Exactly.
We are showcasing some of these smaller creators because we really believe in the mission of indie games and just getting your art out there in front of everyone.
Especially a title like that looks great. Like that's exactly my kind of vibe. Like
and on the Switch as well, like that's cozy game vibes for sure.
Cozy game vibes. Yeah, and also like a nod to like old school like RPGs and stuff. So yeah, I am locked in for that.
Very cute.
Yeah. Should we take a look at another trailer? We're spoiling you all at home right now. Okay, the Divine Speaker, the Sun and the Moon. As someone who's like obsessed with the moon, don't ask me why, I just am.
You're a moon girl?
I am a moon girl. This speaks to me already.
Oh, cute. This reminds me, have you ever done those online like character customization where you make your own cars and the pit crews?
Yeah.
Mine always come out way cuter than I am in real life. Though.
I don't believe that for a second.
It's like, no, it's not me. He has the ability to foresee his own death.
Okay, so again, I'm getting like visual novel, dating sim vibes. Yep. Something in there for the furries.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
I must become a sinner, then let me see.
Ooh. Oh.
Afflicted by fate and his own
desires.
Same.
Alone in a golden gilded cage. Okay, so it's sort of set in like a school.
Yeah, it looks.
That's the vibe I'm getting. Yep.
Nikolai. The Foxman, I'm guessing. Caspian Prince.
There is something for everyone in this game.
After all, the moon would never be able to have the sun. Oh, I love that. A little poetic.
It's now on Steam, so if that tickles your fancy, go ahead and wishlist it, because that's really important for our amazing indie creators. Like, every wishlist helps.
Yeah,
honestly.
especially if the games aren't out yet, but you're interested. Like, show your interest. Like, add it to your wish list, and maybe have a look at the devs on social media, let them know, and things like that. With smaller games like this and indie games, like, the community is so important, and I always think that indie game communities are incredible because they're also dedicated, because they know how much work goes into these games, and the people that they love are making them, and they're making beautiful things. That was a beautiful looking game, like very ethereal.
Yeah.
Like, no, I loved that for sure.
That was great. And I love the relationship between like indie developers and the players, because like, you know, it ends up being this really good like feedback loop almost, like, and they help like the sort of development process through like feedback and iterations and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, you can tweet at a AAA game until the cows come home, but you're not likely to get a response that you really like. Whereas with indie game developers, they care about their game and they care about people liking their game. So feedback is also super important. You can tweet at an indie game dev and be like, hey, I love this, and would you maybe consider including a character more like this next time? And they'll be like, yeah, of course, like we're here for you. And I think that the dedicated community is so close-knit that everybody is constantly improving themselves and each other, and there's just no bad blood, really.
No, not at all. Shall we say we look at another trailer?
Let's go for it.
Let's do it. Oh my goodness.
Throwback.
I'm getting like big PS1 vibes. I'm like, yeah.
In the best way.
Yeah, I say that out of like love. I miss this aesthetic so much. Oh, this is cool.
It's giving very like arcade game vibes, and also and it's become a side scroller.
Oh, I love this. I love this so much. Again, it feels in the best way like a love letter to the old school like Final Fantasy VII.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. I love seeing games like this with like the different setups, like the side scrolling, then we've got like the different mini games. Looks pretty creepy. Again, I mean that in a good way.
Angeline era. I'm in my Angeline era.
Oh.
Oh, a little cheeky look back.
Yeah.
Coming next year, wishlist on Steam. Like I said, wishlist these games. It means a lot to them.
Yeah, I just sort of noticed at the end there that was made by the creators of Anodyne 2, which I don't know if you're familiar with, but that was a great game. So seeing that, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what to expect from the studio. So,
like you said, that felt like such a throwback in the best way possible. That game style and the art, and it just looked very fun. Looked like there was so much going on and things to manage, and also it looked like it had, you know, different play styles and moving the camera and playing with different mechanics and things. Like, I love it when a game really just goes all out on your capabilities within the game.
Exactly that. Because we've seen a lot of like, you know, visual novels, which, you know, are great. So it's nice to have like something for everyone. Because sometimes
a lot of variety.
Yeah,
variety
exactly.
is the spice of life.
Of course, exactly that. So you want to see another?
Always.
Go on then. Already so into this art style.
Yes.
So this is Raptor Boyfriend, a high school romance.
She's dating the Raptor? His name is Robert.
Robert the Raptor.
Robert the Raptor.
Oh, so is this like a high school for like, I don't want to say misfits, but you know, misfits and the weird and the wonderful.
Named one of 21 indies to look forward to by Polygon.
Nice. Robert the Raptor rides a I was like, I'm trying to
Tricycle. It wasn't even a bicycle, it was a motorbike. Yeah, a dirt bike.
There's a lot to love about this game. Oh, who's that?
That's us! What, Robert's naked?
I love this main character. Just, I don't know what it is. There's something about maybe the...
Satirical 90s teen drama. There it is. That's the vibe I was getting.
Vibe, yeah.
It was a 90s vibe.
Because it kind of reminded me of like Daria, almost.
Yes,
I know it's not the exact same art style, but just that kind of influence that feels very prominent. Oh, this is so cool. And then yeah, the sort of like comic book aspect reminds me a bit of Saga as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to find love in your last year of high school. Raptor boyfriend, a high school romance. Yeah. That's funny because I actually dated a Raptor in high school as well.
Oh
so
my goodness. So
I'm really feeling it
there's
here.
representation for you.
It was specifically for me, yeah. No, I loved the art style in that. Like you said, it felt very comic booky, like such a throwback to sort of like maybe early 2000s animations and things like that. But the 90s vibe was clear, like it was coming through for sure. And I love that it was like a dating sim, but also like
sort of like
a high school simulator, really. But I wouldn't want to go back to high school, but that one looked like a pretty cool one to go back to.
100%. It also seemed really funny as well. I don't know why, but I feel like the comedy in that.
The comedy was
really
coming
good.
through for sure.
100%. Yeah, so that's one to memorize for me at least. I don't know what it is about Robert the Raptor. He got me.
He got me. He got you good. He got you good. I think we're about halfway through our trailers now, so let's take a look at the next one.
Yes.
Oh. Even more of a throwback. Even further back.
Getting big Pokemon
Big
vibes.
Pokemon vibes.
Yeah.
Like.
This is Small Town Emo.
Did you have a Game Boy?
I did have a Game Boy Color. Yeah.
I had a Game Girl.
What?
Mm-hmm. It was just a Game Boy, but it was pink.
Oh.
And it said Game Girl on it. Because girls can't play the Game Boy,
no,
obviously.
That's not allowed. Man, I was missing out. My childhood.
Yeah.
Not good. But that looks really cool.
Really cool. And I loved the way that they did that trailer then, cutting into like some real video footage and back to gameplay.
It literally looked like an ad from the 90s.
It did. Like a 90s like cereal ad or something, you know what I mean? Or early 2000s. But I love the vibe they were going for with that one, and I love the throwback to the Game Boy. Like, there's something so nostalgic even about indie games that are being made today, because they're being made by game developers who grew up in the early 2000s or the late 90s. Like, so many aspects of real life gets put into our art. Like, it's who we are and it's what we're making. So I love the throwback to sort of like older retro games, because we wouldn't be where we are in the gaming industry if it wasn't for the foundations laid by retro gamers and game devs in the early 2000s and 90s and things. So very, very cool.
Yeah, and also exposing like a younger audience to that kind of style of games as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I never really feel old unless I'm talking to people about games I used to play. Like, I had like Echo the Dolphin, and I think the first game I played, funnily enough, was a Barbie game. Barbie Safari Explorer on the PlayStation 1, which was amazing. So I'm super excited for the Barbie horse mystery ride speedrun later. But I will be watching that for sure. I hope she gets the record.
Me too.
Should we take a look at the next trailer?
Let's do it.
Space has always fascinated
Another
me.
spacey one.
Symbiant.
And that's the main reason I became a transport pilot.
That just makes me think of Venom.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
is it symbiote?
Symbiote. It's not dissimilar. Into the
My name is
music
Danya,
here.
by the way.
Pretty
I'm
funky.
the pilot of the Maritime.
Danya.
My business
Is it a
partner,
dating,
Jamie, and
a
I
space
usually carry
dating
goods to
sim?
different planets.
How do you date in space? That's the question.
They're gonna show us how. I assume.
Juniper, engineer, mechanic.
Into that character
Yeah,
design.
I like her.
Yeah.
I study mutually beneficial interactions between different species in the galaxy.
Brave, symbiant expert.
Brave and I have been getting close lately.
Oh. Oh my.
Very, very close.
Oh my!
But there's just
My
something about
heavens.
him and his cargo that
I don't know why I sound so. Good heavens!
Wait, Danya, you can't tell them I'm on board the ship.
Sweating. Me too.
I'll do my best to keep you safe.
Oh, so it's like they're like star-crossed lovers. I mean, literally, because they're in space.
Yeah. Star-crossed lovers.
See what I did?
I
Like,
love that.
wordplay.
Let's pretend you did that on purpose.
I did actually. I did. That was intentional.
No, I love that, and I would love to see, because if they're on the same ship, like
Yeah, like
such close quarters, and it's just like, is there love triangles on the spaceship? Like, how are they getting work done? How are they researching the symbiont if they're all kissing each other?
so many questions.
So many questions. I'm going to have to play the game. That
Exactly,
one's
get
going
them
on my
answered.
wish list for sure.
Amazing.
That one and the orc one.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my top two
The
for
top
now.
two. Yeah, I think Raptor Boyfriend is still up there for
Oh
me.
yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Raptor Boyfriend. I was just getting throwbacks to Raptor Boyfriend. Yeah, really good, really good. Should we
Amazing.
have a look at the
Another
next
trailer.
one?
Let's do it.
Oh, pixel art.
Beloved Rapture. Again, yeah, getting some old school RPG
Aaron
vibes.
Crawford. Is it just one person that made this game?
It's like it.
It's dedication, Aaron.
Yeah, especially with all of these like pixel art assets, like gorgeous.
The sprites are just.
Yeah.
The animations for a pixel game are so good. There's so many frames in these animations.
I'm such a sucker for pixel art, and this is gorgeous. Oh, all the different like terrains and stuff.
It's giving Stardew Valley vibes in the
Yeah.
best way.
A little bit of like Octopath Traveler, which is obviously like newer, but again harkens back to that nostalgic feeling.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Yeah. Music is great too. Oh,
Beloved
Yeah.
Rapture coming this year. Try the free demo on Steam today.
Please
That
do.
looked like a lot of work had gone
of
into
work,
that game. Like, it was beautiful. If it really was one person, that is so impressive.
so impressive. It always blows my mind, honestly. Like, I don't even think I can make a game if I had like 50 people to work with. Never mind like on my own, you know?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely astounded by the talent that goes into these games, especially because, like I said before, there might not be as big like financial support or team support behind. So when a really good indie game gets made, you just know how hard it was to get that across the line. And I think it really, really shows in games like that where, you know, the animations are on point, the scene looked beautiful, the gameplay looked great, the storyline looked really interesting. Like, that one for sure is going on my wish list.
A real labor of love, definitely. Another trailer, shall we?
Let's.
Okay, Call Me Under.
What's
Like, again, getting some like old school FMV vibes.
Is it an underwater world? A secret city under the sea.
Oh.
Mysteries linger. They do at the bottom of the sea. You won't catch me at the bottom of the
No,
sea.
absolutely not. Getting some noir vibes.
Yes.
Yep.
A little murder mystery.
Oh, Eldritch.
1950s Eldritch Noir LGBTQ visual novel.
Are you looking to
Love a woman in formal wear.
Yeah, I know. I'm all aboard so far. What are they investigating? I need
I'd
to
watch
know.
this. I'd watch this show.
Oh. Okay, it looks like we're getting some. Are those character names or like voice
think-
actors? I'm like,
I think those were credits. Great job. Step into the light. Love that. Pull me under.
Reaches out to you.
Ooh.
Will you take its hand?
Again, they've combined so many different aspects of different storylines and storytelling. So not only is it a noir visual novel, it's also set in an underwater city.
Yeah, and then you've got the sort of like eldritch horror aspect of it as well. So loads going on there.
I would love to see how they combine all of those things,
Yeah.
and the storyline looked really interesting. So
And all the different characters as well. I'm like, so much going on.
I wonder what they're getting up to down there.
I know. I'd love to find out more. I mean, you can, watching at home, you can head on over to Steam, find out more. Make sure you wish list if it's something that tickles your fancy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think we should take a look at yet another trailer.
Oh, go on
Oh,
then.
go on. Spoiling you. Okay, so this is Bugaboo Pocket. Oh.
Interesting that the screen is square.
Yeah, I was like, it kind of reminded me of like a Tamagotchi to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's intentional, maybe.
Is it like, are you taking pictures or
I think you're kind of taking care of like a little
bug in your pocket?
Yeah, and then there are like different mini games.
I would love that.
That looks
That
great.
Sounds, oh my
That's
God.
really cute.
Yeah, really cutesy vibes. Like I was getting like almost like SpongeBob vibes around the side with sort of like the artwork. And like I said, really interesting way of showing a game screen in like a square. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So
Exactly. Oh.
I want a little bug. I want to look after my own little bug.
I know, my little pocket bug.
I used to
Oh,
collect ladybugs when I was a kid and keep them in like a terrarium. I'd look after them.
For a second I thought you were going to say like you just kept them in your pocket, and I was even very
No.
concerned.
I was looking after them. I mean, I was a child, and my mum would have to come into my room and be like, "What bugs are in here?" And I'd be like, "No, there are no bugs in here. I don't know what you're talking about. No bugs at
Well,
all."
clearly, Bugaboo Pocket will be a way for you to interact with your inner child.
Yeah.
Go back to looking after some bugs.
Oh, see, that's another thing about games is I love the ability for it to take you back to your inner child.
Yeah.
Like playing games that throw back. I mean, I still play games on my on emulators and stuff from when I was younger.
Me too.
Like I know this isn't a super old one, but I've recently been playing Cooking Mama on my phone.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
I know.
Yeah.
I used to have it on my DS, like when I was a kid. But I have been obsessed with playing it on my phone recently.
Oh my god, I love that. Incredible. Well, you know what I'm going to say?
Are you going to ask me if I want to look at another trailer?
You know me so well.
Okay, then let's go.
Life after magic. Saving the world with your friends was only the beginning.
The
What
beginning?
comes next?
We started with saving the world.
I love that.
Oh, look at this.
This art style. Oh, pixel art just makes me so happy.
So
just
cute.
itches something in my brain. I'm like, this is great. Okay. Really interesting setting here, given that they've already saved the world.
Yeah.
So,
Life after magic. So what happens after you
Yeah.
save the world together?
so it looked like the magic that you had was fading away, possibly. So, yeah, you know what? I think they answer a very interesting question. Like, you know, sometimes you save the world playing like other games. You're kind of like, well, what now? Like, how do they get on with their lives?
from here? So it's really interesting because most stories end with the saving of the world, but I love that this is kind of like a what happens now, and beautiful, beautiful pixel art.
Yeah.
So many people say that like pixel art is a great and easy way to get into games, and they are right and wrong. Like
'Cause I'm like,
pixel art,
easy?
yeah,
Ain't nothing
pixel
easy
art
about it.
that was such detailed pixel art as well, especially when you look at just how many pixels it goes into making one character, and then how are they making that character move and talk and things like that. But they managed to showcase really beautiful, in-depth queer characters using just colors and boxes. Blows my mind.
Yeah, like I feel like I know a lot about each of those different characters, like based on their design and like everything else.
I want
so-
access to their wardrobes as
Yeah.
well. Those clothes were
So
so
good.
cute.
So cute.
Shall we take a look at another one?
Oh, go on then.
It's the year 2066.
This is
Mankind has
synthetic
succeeded
lover.
in creating artificial beings
A
whose
dating
sole
sim,
purpose
perhaps?
is to serve.
Maybe.
I am one of them.
I feel like you're gonna be right.
Are we dating robots?
If it's a third-person
My
shooter,
life
I'd be
was
really
simple.
shocked.
Because
but
we've had
job,
orcs
keep
and
my parents
vampires and
Until I
elves
came into
and
contact with
robots
something.
and aliens, and
It changed me.
if you can
broke
dream
me.
it, you can date it.
Made me see the darkness. I have to figure this out and fix it before it is too late.
Okay,
Before they
some
find
interesting
out
dynamics going
and
on
destroy
here.
me. But how am I supposed to do this?
Giving kind of like cyberpunky vibes a little
It's
bit.
fascinating,
Yeah.
dangerous. I have to find a way. Who can I
Bastion,
trust?
the bartender.
This
I'm
self-serving
Toilet
bartender
Steve.
who doesn't seem to care?
Love his hair.
The
Terrence.
suspicious corporate rep who says all the right things but
professional
works for my
employee.
makers?
Guiding light. Okay.
Okay, so that
I
seems
don't
like some
know.
big, like, evil
But I've
corporation.
got to try.
Got it.
There is no other way.
Yeah, no company called Guiding Light is
Yeah.
doing good things,
No,
are
it
they?
doesn't sound like it. So I wonder, are we the synthetic lover? And then we're trying to find love. I wonder how we're
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a
navigating
good
that.
point.
Yeah.
I know a lot of like dating sims allow you to literally put yourself in the game. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like, you know, like young adult novels and things where you're the main character and you're supposed to see yourself in the main character, which is why they're all like ambiguous about who the main character is and what she looks like. So you can place yourself in that role.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that dating sims, you can kind of get two different types where you create a character, you're in the game, you're playing with them, or
Mm-hmm.
it's literally targeted right at you, sitting at home, like on your PC, like you're the person dating. So it's really interesting to see how it would work in that universe. But yeah, very like cyberpunky dating sim,
Yeah.
big giant evil corporation vibes. So it would be super interesting
I love
to
that
see
you
how
put that
that
in
plays out.
quote marks.
Well, I don't know. I've
You
not
don't
played
know.
the game. Like Guiding Light could be a very good and wholesome company for all I know.
I'm not so sure, but that's what makes it interesting, right? Is like, again, there's like so many different dynamics there, and I think having the cyberpunk setting as well, like, adds for a lot of like texture.
The dark and dingy sort of noir neon lights vibe, which I really like. Did you play Cyberpunk?
I did.
Have
yeah.
you played the new DLC?
Not yet. I'm embarrassed to say, but I did enjoy.
That's fine. It only
so-
came out like
That's
last
true.
week. Like not many people. It is good though. It is
Yeah.
good. They fix a lot of issues, and that's a good example of a game where they're continuously trying to work on it as well. Not that it's an indie game, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's all in the same umbrella, so it works. It's fine.
We love all games here.
We
but
do.
mostly indie games. So
That's true.
let's take a look at the next one.
Celestial crowns. Okay.
To
Are they the
war
planets?
or to wed.
The war to wed.
The weight of the crown is thrust upon you after your father's untimely death.
Okay.
Now, on the brink of war, what will you do to save your homeland?
Oh. So.
Marry a man
Some
I've
war
never
and
met
intrigue?
and relinquish control
Terror.
over my kingdom.
Ah.
I think not.
Customize your
Oh, we want
character's
outfit
body
change.
type
That's
and
cool.
pronouns.
Oh, I love that, and I
Role-play
love
your
that the
way
body
with
types are
9
masculine and
different
feminine,
personality
not
traits.
like choosing a girl or
Yeah.
a boy.
I am the monarch
It's
of
outdated.
Latte.
I mean, it's
I will
2023,
act
babe.
as I
Come on.
please.
Decide the fate of Latte with 3 separate strategies. Diplomacy,
You will learn in time, as your father did, that I am usually correct.
Okay.
conquest,
So the first one was
I would
diplomacy.
never let anything
conquest.
happen to you. I promise.
or matrimony.
I wasn't far off.
Matrimony.
I dare say I find you rather
Romance
enchanting.
leads to matrimony.
Yes.
Be careful,
Get to
kids.
know you better, if you allow me.
Navigate the high courts, learn legendary magic, and lead your kingdom to prosperity.
Whatever he said to you, it is not right. I could have him executed.
Okay, so we
If
got
you'd
like
like.
a couple of different elements there.
I was so
Bit of like
worried.
political intrigue,
thought,
some romance.
I don't know what I'd do if you died.
Using this like the kind of celestial
fighting at
world,
your
I
side
guess,
has
as
been
a
an
backdrop, which
honour.
is pretty interesting.
Oh, their names are like celestial related
Yeah.
as well, which is really nice. Planet names and things like that. I love the way they've shown that there. I love the way that you can play who you want there. So that's one of the kind of dating sims where
That you
you're in the
mentioned,
game,
yeah.
like I said, but there was no limit to what you could be. So you could have masculine body type, feminine body type. You could love women, you could love men, you could love whoever. So that's another great thing about diverse indie games is that, you know, you get to really do whatever you want and be whoever you want. Why put the limits on games when the limits aren't there in real life?
Exactly.
You know what I
Love that. Let's check out another trailer.
Frog song.
This looks really cute.
This is so cute. Is he wearing a little backpack?
I think so. Oh my god, look at the
little
old one.
man frog. Oh. Oh. I've only just met this frog, but if anything happens to him, I'd be devastated. Look at his little feet.
Oh my god. We got a cat. Oh, this looks great.
There's a little frog welder.
They haven't figured it out yet. The world's ending.
The total impact. Ooh. The way he like plods along is so cute.
So cute. Okay.
Oh,
frog song.
That was adorable. I love being just a silly little guy.
I know. Being a silly little guy is my favorite thing, honestly.
I wish I could be a silly little guy as a career.
I think you can. We can make that happen.
This is what I'm doing now. I'm just being a silly little guy. Can you change my lower third, please? It's Riley, silly little guy.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, that one looked really cute. A little adventure explorer game as a little frog. I love that. I love games where you can play animals and creatures and things. I'm a big nature person, and that looked so cute.
Good with all the puzzles and everything. That looked like a treat. Shall we take another look at another trailer as we wind down towards the end of our showcase?
Let's hop into it.
They said he
Should have
wanted
said
to
that.
become a
So
knight.
disappointed.
See? Just me being a silly little guy again.
So this is the Hayseed Knight. Looks really cool.
Very interesting art style. Oh.
Was he actually doing cartwheels? I have high quality standards for my ancestors.
Adderson, son of Gerfaz of the upper fields, right here for you.
Cute.
All day, every day. I'm just your run-of-the-mill prairie buck, ma'am. Whoa.
For your information, everyone already thinks that rows are thick-skulled.
Joseph! There you are!
Ugh, give me a break.
You're many, many things, dear, but subtle is not one of them.
I love that they're showing us the character art
I
as well.
know.
Anyone's butt.
I know
Insult
an
her
obsession when I
butt.
see one.
No, that has to be illegal somehow.
I knew this would happen. Should have
It sounds like it's got like full voice acting as well.
I love that.
Boy ruined his life betting on all the wrong
The
numbers.
art style's so expressive.
Really,
So
really
good.
expressive.
Alas, your fair maiden is in another alley.
Boss! You're gonna end up giving someone a heart attack if you don't quit sneaking up on people like that, you know.
He told me quite a bit about you, his beloved boss, Iona.
Aina!
You're lucky I can't have you arrested, you unruly little beast.
Kilogram?
Trying to guess from the art style and like the character design, like about the setting.
Is it sort of getting like medievally vibes?
of,
maybe?
Bless your ears, Red. I'll make a wardrobe out of you! Don't you have anything to say about this, insolent child?
I do love the way that the character models are like moving
It's
around. I think
Adderson
that
of
adds
the
to it
upper
as well.
Yeah, definitely,
How can a
especially
country
because
boy with
you know
ambitions as
it's
great
just going
as
the extra
yours
mile
go
to
on
make
living,
it
knowing he
look
can't
and
aspire
feel
to more than his
interactive and interesting.
deplorable life.
Farmhands don't become knights.
And I guess the only question I've got left is this going anywhere at all?
Do I have to say yes or no to get out of here alive?
You have some excellent survival skills.
The Hayseed Knight.
Yeah, available on Steam. So much going on there in a great way.
Really cool art style, and they really put those characters. You could, like you said, like very emotive, like expressive. Like you could tell what they were feeling by the way that they were drawn, and I think that was really cool, especially because you know it's a series of drawings, isn't it? That just play next to each other, and I think that was really cool. I love the way that they anthropomorphized like the animal creatures, and really, really interesting.
Really makes him stand out from the crowd as well.
And
so.
another another diverse game, another game that we haven't seen before in the indie showcase, like animals as humans. Like, there's a target audience for that, as you know.
There is,
so
I'm sure.
Really, really interested to see more about that one.
Right, we got a couple more trailers for you, so let's check them out.
Let's get into it.
3 days to Chicago.
Oh, these are pictures.
Oh. I love what they've done, like with the editing of the photos. Okay, it looks like we're having a very intense conversation, like over
for
text.
not introducing
What an
myself.
interesting way
Name is
to
Paul.
make a visual novel.
Yeah.
The sun is just about to set. Nice, isn't it?
Chance of a lifetime.
Okay,
Sounds like work doesn't leave much time for anything else.
I wonder if he's one of the devs.
Maybe.
Do you regret it? I don't want to rush anything, but I have to ask. Is there something here that could be bigger than today? Or this trip?
I wanted to know what they picked.
I know.
3 days to Chicago.
I also wonder, like, what the significance of, like, setting it in Chicago is. Like, there must be some, it's, like, tied into the story. There must be some greater reason, I'm sure. I really love what they did with the editing of the photos and, like, the color scheme and everything.
What
so
an
striking.
interesting way of creating a visual novel without animation, like taking photos. I mean, that's art as well, isn't it? So taking photos and the way they edited them was really interesting, and the filter, and it just made it feel very like visceral and real life. But no, really interesting, and I wasn't expecting to see anything like that today. So very, very cool.
Yeah, this showcase has really kept me on my toes. I think we have our final showcase trailer of the day. I'm very sad about, but
we'll be back tomorrow.
We will be back tomorrow. Let's have a look at this
And
one.
I'm a Kitsune.
A
Since I became a
Kitsune.
messenger of the goddess Inari, I've had some wild adventures.
Tales.
No story would be complete without Kiri. She's my best friend, and we've known each other since we were little. But lately, she's been acting a little strange.
Hey, Yuzu! I've been thinking about you.
Oh,
me.
she's been acting strange because she has a crush, I think.
You know what? It can wait. Let's go for a run
I
instead.
love the use of the
She's gotten even
Kitsune,
weirder
and this
ever
is
since
such
I
a
met
beautiful art
Akko, the
style.
village healer. Akko is amazing, and she's always suggesting fun stuff to do together.
Hey, Yuzu! It's been a while. You should be my partner at tonight's harvest dance. We'll be the cutest couple there. And don't worry, I'll try not to step on your tail.
She also introduced me to the village elder,
A
who
lot of
thinks he's
different
really funny.
influences here.
Miss you,
Yeah.
It's so nice to hear you're
I'm getting Pokemon vibes, I'm getting Stardew Valley vibes,
Exactly.
and the pixel art again is fantastic. Even just the animation of that tail.
I also met a grumpy samurai ghost at a haunted mansion.
A Kitsune. Your kind plagues me even in
Voice acting on
death.
point.
So good.
You'll love the cat merchant with all his puns. I think he's perfectly adorable.
No, it's been years since I've been in a damp cave or a dungeon, but I'm not one to refuse the call of destiny
Not the
and
puns.
prompt.
Oh, the way his little
I've run
ears
into some old
vibrating. I
friends
love
like
that.
you. Kiri's uncle trains her too.
My brother may indulge you, Kiri, but I will not. Do it again with proper form this time.
Ah! My form? Nothing I do is ever good enough for him.
I actually really like your form. I mean, I think your form is excellent. He just wants you to be the very best. That's all.
Things got a little crazy at the harvest dance. It was great dancing with Akko.
Oh, I love the way that
But
the
when
lights
Kiri
look,
showed up
like the
and wanted to
lanterns.
dance with me
Yeah,
too.
very nice.
Yeah.
Got
It's so
really
hard
confusing.
to portray lighting in a game like this as well with
but I'll tell you
pixel
lots
art.
more
Like
later.
lighting is so
Don't
hard
worry,
to get
'cause
right,
I'll
and
be
they did a
back
great
in
job
2
with
shakes
that.
of a tail.
2 shakes for tail.
That's
Kitsune
good.
Tails, that one was so cute, and what a great one to end it on.
I know.
Such beautiful colours and art style, and a nice amalgamation of lots of different kinds of game types as well, which is really nice.
It was really good. I had such a blast, like putting all these different games on my radar and like mentally like wishlisting them. And I am, of course, going to wishlist them for realsies.
Yeah, for
Yes,
shorties.
Because
yeah.
come on, come on. If you'd like to know about any of the indie games that you saw in this showcase, then please make sure you head on over to our Indie Games Festival over at gaymingmag.com/live. Riley, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to doing this again with you tomorrow, finding out more of some of the incredible games we have in our indie showcase. But thank you so much, Shay, and I hope you all enjoyed the games and add them to your wish list, like Shay said.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So we will see you tomorrow, and we'll be back very shortly, right after this message.
Honestly, no one wants to think about HIV, but there are things that everyone can do to help prevent it. It starts with getting tested regularly. If you're HIV negative, you and your healthcare provider can decide if PrEP may be right for you. PrEP means routinely taking prescription medicine before you're exposed to HIV to help reduce your chances of getting it. And it can be 99% effective when taken as prescribed.
Talk to a healthcare provider about all your HIV prevention options. Our health is worth protecting.
So, Veronica, did any of those games catch your eye?
I'm going to tell you right now, there's a bunch of them that caught my eye.
Okay, I cannot wait to hear all about this.
And a few of them might have captured my heart as well. Firstly, I need to talk about all of these dating sims. I have never, ever played one before. But some of these have given me a bit of an itch to maybe scratch. Because I wouldn't mind seeing some semi-naked elves and orcs, you know what I'm saying? Zareth really caught my eye. That sort of fantasy land. All the bare chests, I couldn't believe my eyes. I never knew games like this existed. So that is one for sure that I'll be checking out.
Love to hear that.
Not in the workplace though, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Not safe for work. Another one that really, really caught my eye was In Stars and Time. The sort of like time loop element to it. I mean, the whole vibe of it was giving me sort of like Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, right.
And so naturally my eye was drawn to it. So, and I really, really like that element. If you die, you go back. So that's one that I'll be keeping an eye out for. And then, of course, I have to talk about Frog Song as well. Towards the end, that to me was the standout of the entire lot for me personally, just because it came across so different and it had so much character and so much heart. And I felt like I just wanted to jump into the little frog shoes and and hop around and play it for real. So I think it had a point of difference amongst a lot of the other trailers that I saw. So for me, that is one that I would be checking out 100%.
I love that. Yeah, there was so many. Again, like I think towards the end, in particular, Frog Song just like grabbed me. Yeah, yeah, it was so good. Like
grabbed you by the gills. Oh, that's fish.
I mean, to be honest, you could have said that and I would have believed you. I was just like, frog gills, yeah, that seems right. You're smarter than me. Which is just wonderful stuff. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to Gaming Live, presented by Healthy Sexual, a Gilead Sciences company. Here's what's coming up this afternoon. I guess afternoon for us, but maybe a different time for y'all. Let's have a look at our schedule. So, we will be jumping into the Barbie Horse Adventures speedrun right after this, which will be very exciting. And then we're going to slow things down with a panel, looking at creating safe online communities. Then we'll be moving into wrestling with emotions, and then closing out the day with a cosplay competition. So, which I know you're very excited for.
Contain myself. I'm so excited for it.
I know. So, I'm going to do a very smooth segue, and I all want you to clap when it becomes apparent what I'm doing. So, I'm wearing pink.
Oh, yes.
I am wearing pink, yes.
They say something about pink, don't they?
Did you say something about pink? No, this segment isn't actually going to be that great. Do you like Barbie, Veronica?
Do I like Barbie? Like, do I like butter on my bread? Yes.
That is the answer I was hoping for. Tell me about all of your love for Barbie.
Oh, my exploits with Barbie over the years. We go way back, me and Barbara do. We sure do. Back when I was a kid, my dad was very progressive at the time. When I wanted a doll, my dad bought me a doll. And I was probably like a little 8-year-old boy, 7-year-old. I was very, very young. But I just fell in love with dolls, Barbie dolls in particular. Yeah. When my sister was born, I stole all of hers. Yes. Yes, they just kept going missing. We did have an unfortunate accident once because we loved to style the hair, but I had a bit of a frizz problem when I popped it in the boiling water to curl it, and then combing it out, I accidentally melted the hair.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of those accidents myself, and like I feel like it was a good like priming element for me because I'd always like cut their bangs too short, and then I ended up cutting my own bangs too short. So it was like, you know, that should have been like the proper practice. I still ended up messing up anyway, so it wasn't good. But you know what? And I don't know if this like anybody else had this. Like I was really convinced that their hair would grow back. I was just like, I want it enough. So the hair's gonna grow back.
Did you not have the one where the hair did grow back though?
No, I didn't.
One where you could have long hair, you could have short hair. Yeah. I think it was done like on some sort of wheel or something. Yeah. It was amazing.
I think that was the start of like my delusional era. But like when I say I was convinced, I was like, I'm gonna go to bed, I'm gonna wake up, and the hair would have grown back. It never did. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've had the same experience where you've had the odd Barbie's head shaved, you know.
Oh, God.
I Britney-fied them, you know.
Yeah. God, I have never had an original experience. I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So did you have like a favorite Barbie? Because I did.
I did.
For sure.
Oh
Yeah,
my
what was
gosh.
yours?
I kept, it was just a standard Barbie, but she had really long hair like this. And I kept her until she had but 3 hairs left on her head. Because every time I brushed the hair, you know, 1 or 2 would come out.
How hard were you brushing?
Oh, do you know what they say, don't they? 100 brushes a day.
You took that to heart. I love it.
Yeah, but she was just my favourite. She looked the best. I would always draw the makeup on her as well. But I had a whole troupe of them. Well, they were my sisters, but they were mine really. And we used to play all sorts of games. We used to do pageants. I'm saying we as in me. Like I would take them away to my bedroom, dress them all up, do competitions. We'd have eliminations. It was a bit like Drag Race,
I was
really.
gonna say, yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. So you were prepping yourself like all those years ago.
If they could see me now, if dolls could talk, they've got a lot of secrets. The stuff like the grueling challenges I put them through.
Oh my goodness, no, I love that. Like I was obsessed with Barbie and like all the different like editions that came out. I had a Beatrix Potter Barbie.
Oh,
and I kept that in the box for ages. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I wish I kept it because I probably could have sold it for so much money.
Yeah.
But
collector.
Yeah, but I couldn't resist. She was really cool. She had like this really pretty dress, like these really cute like light blue shoes. Yeah.
I think one of the things that I love most about Barbie and as the brand in general is that it teaches people and especially young girls that you can be whoever you want to be. Barbie was an astronaut. Like Barbie's done everything and she just shows you that you can be who you want to be and you can do what you want to do. I've always loved that about the Barbies.
I'm trying to think of like what Barbie would have like really resonated for me, especially in my like adolescent years. Like maybe like a HMV worker Barbie, or like because that was like popular for a really long time.
One with the headphones and the mixing desk.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh,
DJ
God.
Barbie.
Basic. I'm sure Barbie must have been a DJ at some point. Like,
I mean, she's done it all.
She's done it all.
She's been a doctor. Like, I'm sure she's been a DJ.
I love that so much. Oh, yeah. Do you have any Barbies that you'd like to see?
Oh my God. I mean, hey now, I wouldn't mind a drag queen Barbie, but I mean, it would have to be one of her friends, wouldn't it? Because,
yeah. I could see that happening.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Pretty
Absolutely
sick.
amazing. I mean, to be honest though, Barbie always has so many extravagant outfits. I loved the Barbies that had the gowns, like the proper collector's ones that, I mean, have you seen some custom doll makers now have got some of the older Barbie's clothes and sort of modernised them. I really love watching those kinds of things as well.
So good. Clearly, I'm like a lot more obsessed with Barbie than I thought I was actually. So I love this for me. Maybe I'll listen to my inner child and get back into Barbie in a really big way.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I mean, I've still got one at home actually.
Well, I'm gonna have to come over, take a look.
You're not swiping my Barbie.
So on that note, we've got a world record attempt coming up with a speed run of Barbie Horse Adventures. So let's cross live to our fabulous drag streamer Mynxie and check it out. Good luck, Mynxie!
Hello everybody. My name's Mynxie666 and welcome to my bedroom. Chucky's over there. It's fine if he moves. Just it happens all the time. It's fine. And today we are going to be speed running Barbie Horse Adventures Mystery Ride. I am so excited. Something that we do on our channel sometimes, just for special occasions. We like to speed run what can only be described as hyper feminine games that are probably not aimed at an age demographic anywhere near mine. For about a year, we were #1 in the world at Monster High's Skulltimate Roller Maze. Someone did beat us. We are now #2. They beat us by like 30 seconds. I'm not going to go back and get that. They can have it. They can have it. I have no idea how to even get faster at that. But previously we also did Barbie Supermodel on the NES, which was pretty difficult actually, because the game itself doesn't really have much skill. It was basically who can button mash the fastest. So I think we got number 14 or 15 or something like that. But like times 1 to 6 were all exactly the same down to the millisecond. So again, not going to try for any harder at that because I'm actually not very good at games. But today we are going to be running Barbie Horse Adventures Mystery Ride. I have got chat up on my phone here. The Barbie that wore the Bob Mackie dress and the share. Oh god, that was so cool. That was so cool. That was like really expensive, I believe. Got Cress up in chat. Top streamer. Go and follow Cress up. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, we are on until approximately 7:30, and we're gonna just do as many runs as we can. The #1 time for this game is 7.5 minutes. That is really difficult. Really difficult. And it also requires a lot of luck. There is a lot of RNG in this game. So I might have to restart a lot. I'm sorry if that gets annoying, but if we reach an RNG game and we get really bad luck, we could do better than that. We could do better than that. So I will restart, especially if I mess up. I do mess up. I make silly mistakes a lot. What we are aiming for today is a top 10 time. So currently number 10 is around 9 minutes and 27 seconds. So what we need is 9 minutes and 26 seconds. But my PB is 9 minutes and 12 seconds. Just saying in my practice runs. So, you know, I reckon we can get it. I reckon we can get it. When I take away the camera here, you'll see my live split actually says my PB is 9 minutes, 16 seconds. It's lying. It's lying. My live split glitched out and I lost it. But trust, it's 9 minutes and 12 seconds. Who have we got in chat? Obsessed with the look, thank you. This hat is one of my most prized possessions. Celestial Coutures on Instagram, my friend, hand crystals them, and she makes all different colors. She makes nice pink ones, purple ones. I asked for like a flame color scheme because I've got a little jacket with flames on it to match. Virgo, I'm ready as well. I think we're gonna get top 10. I do actually believe that it might happen, all right? So we need to just go through it a few times. The run, like I said, it's only 9.5 minutes, so we can do it several times. Even if we get the top 10 time, we'll just keep doing it because we might get a better time. We're not going to get #1. I'm just telling you that right now. It's really difficult. But we will get top 10. So here we are. Barbie Horse Adventures Mystery Ride. Did anyone have this when they were a kid? Because I did not. We did not have a PC. We had a Mac, and nothing was compatible with Macs back in those days. Also, it might crash. When I was playing this just from the ROM, it used to crash my entire computer, and then I would have to restart, which would be a disaster. But luckily, the folks over at Gayming Mag helped me out a little bit. And now it very rarely crashes, and when it does, it's just the game. It's just the game. We can just reopen it. It's fine. But it is frustrating when it happens in a good run. That's the only thing. You've never played a Barbie game, Cat Scratch? Well, they vary. They vary because obviously Barbie is a brand that has been around for a very long time. So if you think about games that came out in the late 80s and early 90s compared to ones in the 2000s, this one is from 2003. So I am using a macro keyboard because not only is it from 2003, but it is also aimed at literal children. So you can't use WASD. You have to use the arrow keys. Even if you remap your keyboard, it doesn't work. You got to use the arrow keys, and then your little pinky has to stretch to the keyboard, and that just wasn't going to cut it for speedrunning. So I am using a macro keyboard, and it's quite noisy. It's quite clickety clack. So just apologies about that. Apologies. VH_ yes in chat. We've got all the legendary streamers in. The hat is slight. The hat is slight. It is a little bit big for me, but she stays on because this is a hard front wig and we don't want to see that. All right, so you can see my live split here. You can see my times from my last run. I need a little warm up, so don't judge me. I will try while I'm the levels of ADHD, unmedicated ADHD in my brain are high. So it's quite difficult for me to multitask. So if I am on a good time, I might go very, very quiet and have a very serious face. It's just because I'm concentrating. But I will try my best, at least in the first run, to explain to you what I'm doing, because there's a lot of glitches and exploits in this game, which are pretty cool and essential if we want to get a good time. Can we get a nay in chat? Can we get a yeehaw in chat? Yeehaw! Okay, so here we go. Here we go. These are really uncomfortable earbuds, but my headphones do not fit under the hat. And which do we prefer, the hat or the headphones? So it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Yeehaw! All right, all right. You ready? This run is sponsored by Charlie XCX, and you're about to know why.
Let's ride.
Let's ride. Let's go! All right. I've got to really be on it to skip the cutscenes. Straight back out here. You hear that clicking? It doesn't get any quieter. I apologize. Go, 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 go! Okay. Out here.
This.
Out here. And go! Yes! Okay.
Campfire, and it's still
something's gonna come up top left, which is RNG. Let's see if we get good luck.
Light around the metal detector?
Not very good luck. I'm starting again. I'm starting again. That thing top left, it's like, it's kind of like a metal detector. We're looking for a horseshoe, and you can see where the dots where they are. And sometimes you get three really close together or in a really easy place to get to. I'm gonna go for that, which is quite funny because I'm like, oh right, I'm gonna start again, when really there's like 6 moments of RNG that could completely ruin the run further down the line. But we're gonna restart. Barbie, be quiet, girl. The clacking of the horseshoes and the keyboard is the ASMR we need. True, true. Actually, speaking of clacking, I've had a stiletto manicure for probably about 8 years now. There's only been one day during lockdown where I haven't had one. And I have never, I might get censored, I've never in my life had a femicure, if you know, you know. Because it's just not been worth it to me because I love my nails too much. But I did get a geeky cure because this finger doesn't, it catches on my macro keyboard. So I got one little baby short nail just for the speedrun. Just for this speedrun. If that ain't dedication, I don't know what is.
Let's ride.
Let's ride. She's properly painted and everything, don't worry, but, you know, she's a little stubby one.
In this.
Come on. Oh my god, this makes me anxious. Ah! Mainly because it's quite janky, like, I find parts of it quite sticky. So you know what you're supposed to do, but it just sort of,
And it's still smoking.
you know, old games, jank, you know how it goes.
There's hoof prints all.
Okay, good luck.
See the light around the metal detector? As you walk around, the green light will.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say we can do better. Cat scratch. I understand the code. Mechanical keyboards are back in style, so you're clacking along with the best of us. Yeah, I really want one. I ordered one, which was like transparent keys with purple light underneath, and it looked so cool, and it felt really heavy. And you know when something feels heavy and substantial, but I could not for the life of me type with it at all.
Let's ride.
Okay. Okay, everyone shut up. Serious now. Serious.
In this.
Don't shut up. You can do what you like. I just need to shut up.
This the rand. The four.
Let's go. Oh, minus a second there.
Fire, and it's still smoking. Someone must have just. See the light around the metal detector? As you walk around.
Look, this is rubbish. We can do so much better than this. One more, and then if it's bad, I'll just keep going.
Let's ride.
Such a heady stance. She runs.
In the stable.
It's butch representation. She's trying her best. She's in the stables.
The four. A campfire.
Okay, fingers crossed, everyone.
Smoking. Someone must have just. See the light around
Yeah,
the
much
metal
better,
detector?
much better.
As you walk around.
Let's run.
Getting closer. The signal has become weaker. Better head.
So you'll see me backing out of animations a lot,
direction to go.
but some of them we can. I have to let this one play out so that it goes into the game.
Could get right on.
Yes, let's go. Right, this is a good time. This is a good time.
What a cute little tree.
This bit's a little bit awkward. We got a herd goat,
Maybe I should herd these baby
and we can't go very fast. And they sound really annoying. That was efficient. Okay, come on. You right at the back. Come on. Let's go, let's go. Let's get you both at the same time. Where are you? Where are you? You're here. Right. Come on. You as well. Get in. Get in. Get in.
You're doing great.
That was good goat herding. As the goat herding goes, that was good. It can be a bit sticky.
Click and drag each piece of paper.
No! Yes, it does.
Let's try another. Great job. That piece fits there. Perfect. Great job. That piece. Just a few more. Great job. That piece fits there. That's it.
Yes. Let's go. Let's go. This is a really good time so far. We're about to get ruined by RNG again, but you know, we can but hope. Ah! No! I went too far. And I have to watch her strolling back there. 2 miles an hour. But we're in good time. That's fine. We're gonna keep going.
You got one. Only a few more to go.
You got one.
Excellent shot.
Dark Souls 2. It's tricky. Like, see that puzzle, the poster puzzle? It's so slippy. You click on it and you just like lose the right. This could be mean to us. It's random, but we're gonna try.
Nice work.
And we gotta be careful because on the last one we need to skip out of it or else we'll. Yes, we got it. Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it. We're in good time. That was good luck. If you see me hesitating towards the end of those RNG games, it's because when you hang on, when you click on the very last pair that can be clicked on, it goes to an animation and I need to skip it. We're gonna do some esports. Watch this. Watch this. And when we get to the caves, whee! Esports! When we get to the caves, if we don't skip the animation, there's like, there's like a bloody 5-hour long cutscene and it's like you can't skip it or anything. So we gotta be on it. To be fair, the buildings are tiny. I've got auto jump on, by the way, in case you're like, she's not controlling that. It has an auto jump feature because it is aimed at 5-year-olds. We got to turn around here. We got to jump back over. We got to go while we're in the air, and then we can go and skip through the next gate as well. Now this is really good time to be 4 minutes 30 and be in this canyon area. This is good time for us. Usually my indicator of it being a bit risky is if it's 4:45 and we're only just getting here. Out of bounds and fly to the end. Well, do you know what? I went in the Discord for the people that speedrun this like way faster than me, and they have been like looking at the map, like sort of dismantling the game to see if there is a way of like doing that, because there's some riding bits coming up where you've got to just gallop for ages and ages and ages and you can't skip it.
Beautiful cave.
Right, RNG, come on. Right, so we got 2 in here. But we don't know where the third one is.
The signal has become weaker.
Let's go with it anyway. Hopefully it's in the next door cave. No! God damn it! Is it in this one? Oh, thank God.
I think we're close to something. Therese,
come on.
Let's try to move these
right, this game is worse. So just bear with me. And this is the one where if we don't skip the cutscene, it's oh no, it's gonna reset, it's gonna reset, it's gonna reset, it's gonna yeah, no!
Awesome. Keep it up.
No! No!
Nice work. Excellent move.
No! No! No, this is no, this is a disaster! This is the thing I can't skip! I messed it up!
I better keep going. I'll radio
I want a refund. Shut up! Look, we're gonna keep going because we are actually in good time, so we might still be able to do it. We might be able to make it up elsewhere. So we're gonna keep going. We've got... Excuse me. Thank you. We've got time. We can do another run after this and another run after that. Why the long face? We're here to persevere. You distracted me. Well, to be fair, it's my fault if I look at chat because it is tiny on my phone. We gotta do some esports here again. You gotta get the map up while we're in mid-air and then go back. And then we can skip through it. No, keep going. We can skip through a little gate here. Oh god. Look at that, caves plus 12 seconds. But look at the rest of it though. Not bad. Going to have to do this on the hoof. Ugh. Ugh. So this is the longest bit of galloping, so, you know, I can look at chat, this is fine. Are we racing? Supposedly, but God knows where she is. She's way behind us. Catch up! Did you not hear us when we said, let's ride? Cute, sexy, and Mariah sporty. Mariah is sporty, look at her. Got a pink saddle. She's eating dust. She is eating dust. Serves her right. I don't even know if she is. I'm being so mean. Eyes on the road now. This is the one bit where I can. Ah! You were right. You were right. You were right. And now look. Now look. We're over time. Hope I don't get pulled over. Drunk riding. Right, this could all go horribly wrong in this bit. A lot of RNG. But we're very near the end. Come on.
Got it. Now, hey, that sounds like the code is made up of 4 keys from the machine.
These are so
Click
sticky.
And drag the keys and we didn't get
Oh,
any
come
of the
on.
keys right. Let's choose different keys for the code.
What about... No, wrong. Ah! Ah!
Way to go.
Oh, come off it. Give me a break. We're not getting a top 10 time here.
Looks like some sort of
We don't have enough.
I bet we need to match up the symbols at the top
That's
of the
it.
screen.
It's over.
Symbols on
We'll keep going though. Right.
These are the photos
Initials
I got from the
MS.
official
MS
page. Nice
Millstone.
work.
Yes, let's go. Look at this. 934, 935.
To visit your baby horse.
Oh my god. 940. That's terrible. Such RNG. Yep. Yeah. I mean,
If you want to change
there's a
your
lot of
outfit,
that.
You can head to the ranch house dressing room.
Shush.
Back to sign in.
We're not far off. Yeah, no, we can do it. We can do it. The run that I did this morning to practice, like I said, was 9 minutes 12 seconds. Guess who? Don't start. Oh, it is Guess Who. Yeah, they always put more than... So, I'm trying to, like, talk as I do it because I'm doing it fast. I'm just like, la, 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 but I'm trying to, like, tell you what I'm doing so that when you see me do it, you're not like, what is that? The little pocket watch has the initials of the person, but there is more than one person with those initials. And then there's the strand of hair, but the strand of hair is always a slightly different color to the one that it's supposed to match. So I just go through everyone with the right initials really quickly. What we need for top 10. So number 10 at the moment is 927. So we really need 926. Which is perfectly doable. Perfectly doable.
Back to sign in.
Do I want to update some of my best times? Yes.
Click here to start the adventure over from the beginning.
Okay. We ready?
Let's ride.
Let's ride. Girl, go faster! If I were Barbie, I would simply go faster. We need Genuine in the background. I mean, it would be better than the flop music they have for this game, to be fair.
A campfire, and it's still smoking. Someone
Come on, RNG!
See the light around the metal detector?
Oh, no, I'm not dealing with that, sorry. I simply shan't. I simply shan't. We need to hear Barbie say, let's ride. Well, you're going to hear it again in 1 second.
Let's ride.
I might make that a sound command on my channel. That would be camp, wouldn't it?
In the
I don't mind restarting for that game because it's near the start, you know? It's not the end of the world if I restart the run.
A campfire, and it's still smoking. Someone must have just left.
Come on.
See the light around
Yep,
the
we can
metal
do this.
detector? As you walk around, the green light will The signal has become weaker. Better head back the other way. The signal has become weaker.
Nice.
Better head back the other way.
This next bit is RNG as well. Sometimes it's the first click because I'm cheesing it.
Right on.
What did I just say? Girl. Oh my god.
What a cute little treat.
Okay, goats.
Something on the
Don't be
ground.
silly. Come on.
Maybe I should herd these
Come on.
baby goats out of the way.
You right at the back here.
That's the idea.
Bane of my
Keep
life.
going.
Both of you. Both of you. Come on. In you get. You. Oh, we've got a whole minute. It's
We
fine.
need to steer the baby in the direction of the corral.
Get in. Get in. Where's the other one? Where's the other one?
That's another one.
All the way back here. What are you doing? What are you doing just standing there? Get in. There we go. And then if I stay here. What in the devil's sheep is happening? Right, slippy time.
Click and drag each
Go.
Nice
Go.
work.
Go. Go.
Way
Go.
to go.
Go. Go.
I don't think that.
Yes,
took
it
goat.
does.
Great job.
Lie
a
to me,
few more
Barbie.
pieces to go. Great job. That's
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
the four. This sign leads to the
Run like the
flour mill.
wind. We're doing it,
Old
man. We're doing
flour
it.
mill. Looks like
Let's
the
go.
bridge is raised, so we can't get in.
Ah.
Let's tie up our horse and
What
look
did I say?
around.
Thank you. I will not be defeated by Jank. I've done it again!
Let's try knocking the stones on the
Fine,
water
we're in
wheel
good
out
time.
the way with the slingshot.
It's all good. We got
Connect
time
the
for these
star
little
over the
tiny
rock
mess
you
ups.
wanna hit. Then hold down the mouse button to launch a pebble from the slingshot. You got one! Only a few more to go. You got it.
When the mouse click doesn't click. Yes, that's what I mean by slippy. Master Rose in chat. How you doing, Math?
Down. Let's go inside. I can see something hidden under a pile of flowers.
I know what you're saying. Why do you do a 360 when she does that? It's because I get stuck behind that little pole often, and I don't want that to happen. This looks good. This looks good.
Nice one.
I'm scared. Is this the last one? No, it's not. Is this the last one?
Nice
Oh.
one.
It's fine. It's fine. The animation's really short. It's fine. It's fine. You see what I mean there by the outro? I have to get it just as like you click the last two, and I didn't. But luckily the animation is just showing me a
I see
hat,
some apples in that tree. We can use the slingshot. to
which
pick
is
them up.
fine. It's the one in the cave that's really bad. It's got like dialogue and stuff. How's the RNG? Math, it's been okay. There's been times where it hasn't been great, but it's been near the start, so we've just restarted.
We should investigate the town more before we leave.
This is all fine. Mynxie wore the hat best. You tell him. You tell him. Oh, we are a bit behind actually. From last time.
Good girl.
Although we
Dove.
really where was it we really messed up?
We've been here before.
Oh, the caves
Maybe we
thing,
should
yeah.
head down a new trail. The river.
We're still here before 4:45. We can bring it back. We can bring it home. I've gotten top 10 time with this current time before. Well, here we are. Riding away.
Yeehaw!
Hate the game, not the player. It does happen sometimes. The game just janks out.
Look at these caves. There's some of Lucky's
It
hoofprints
is,
leading inside. We should tie up our.
What?
a beautiful
20-year-old game?
Look at all
30-year-old? I can't do maths. Oh no!
these- Getting closer.
Oh god. Please be 2 in here.
Nope, this isn't the
No.
right-
No. Is there 2 in here? Yes. We can bring it back.
I think we're close. Nope, this isn't the right direction to go.
Come on. Please don't make us feel... 2003, 30 years. No? No, 20 years. 20 years. I can't do math.
Nice work.
Don't do it again. Don't do it again. It's this one, and then it's... Yep, got it. Got it! Let's go. And this is the exit here, I hope? I hope? Yes, okay. Luckily, there isn't a math game in Barbie. Listen. I'm good at many things. Numbers isn't one of them. I can't slay this hard in a hat and also be good at maths. What do you want from me? We can bring it back, guys. We can bring it back. It's an alright time. Depending on the RNG.
The can.
Ah! Faster, thank you. Oh no, she's ahead of me. If she touches me, my horse stops. Let's not do the maths Barbie game, no. What fun is that? Who is she? I don't know. She keeps talking about radioing Teresa with clues during this game, so I don't know if that is Teresa just waiting for a race or whether that's someone else she's encountered because I haven't watched the cutscene. But if it is Teresa, I would argue, why are you waiting for me to have a race when we're solving a crime? Teresa. Shouldn't you be out looking for clues as well, like we are, Teresa? Do you know what I mean? What are you doing out here? Teresa has the hots for Barbie. That's hot. Ah!
Let's sort these items.
I messed up the live split. But it's fine. Oh no! Wait, no! Guys, I got button happy. I got button happy and we were so near the end. Teresa, girl, get a job. Her job is supposed to be helping me find stuff. And she's busy racing. Right, we're starting again.
Let's ride.
And enough nonsense, right? Serious now. Everyone shut up. This is very serious. We're making gaming history here.
In the
What happened? I messed up the live split, so I couldn't tell what the time was because, yeah, I pressed the button too many times, so I couldn't see what our time was, which is kind of important.
A campfire, and it's still smoking. Someone must have.
Come on.
See the light around the metal detector? As you walk around.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try.
Getting closer. Nope, this isn't the right direction to go.
Oh no, it's miles away.
Getting closer. Try to figure. Could
Come on.
Could get right on.
Redo. No. No, it's not enough to redo. Not enough to redo. Because look, we're only just 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds over. So
what a cute little
there's so many other factors between now and the end that it's not really not worth redoing. Move. 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 Ah. Thank you. Why are you all the way back here? What are you doing? Get in. There's one missing. Where's the other one? You! What did I say?
You're doing great.
They're not devil sheep, they're goats.
Click and drag each piece
Let's
of
go.
paper.
Let's go.
Great
Let's
job.
go.
That
Go.
piece fits
Let's
there.
go.
Great
Let's go.
job.
Let's
That
go.
piece fits there.
Let's go.
Just a
Let's
few
go.
more pieces to
Let's
go.
go. Let's go.
That's it. It's
Oh, hell.
an invitation. Better radio Teresa.
Come on.
The
We're still not over, are we? No, we're fine.
Old
We're fine.
flour mill. Looks like the bridge is raised, so we
I
can't
only
get
know
in.
devil
Let's
sheep.
tie up our horse and look around.
Nice.
Let's try
Smooth.
knocking the stones on the water wheel out of the way with the slingshot.
Move the star over the rock you want to hit. Then hold down the mouse button to launch a pebble from the slingshot. Almost.
What?
You held down the mouse button a little too long.
I didn't hold down the mouse button.
You got one.
Barbie, don't
And
start with
more
me.
to go.
Barbie. Barbie, look at me. Barbie, listen. Listen to me. Listen to me, Barbie. You and me, we're gonna fall out.
Yes, the bridge is down. Let's go inside. I can see something hidden under a pile of flour
Lie
sacks.
to me.
Let's try
I
to
wasn't
move
born
the sacks of
yesterday.
flour so we can see what's behind them. Click on the flour sack. Way to go.
Ah!
Nice one.
That's the one.
The four.
We're still ahead. It's all fine. She's not solving a murder, Cressop.
Girl Belle. I think I see some apples
Someone's
in that
stolen
tree.
a
We can
horse.
use the slingshot to get
That's
them
what
out.
she's solving, not a murder.
The four.
It would be camp if she was, though.
The We should investigate the town.
The murder of her youth! Ah! To be fair, I thought there had been a murder too. Well, you would think so. With, the gravity of the situation. But no, we are simply esportsing. Someone didn't die for the horse. What, you mean, like, they've stolen it to, like, swap it for a body or something? I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling it out. We're about to murder the speedrun time. It's all down to RNG at this point. We're on good, but not great time so far. Maybe the horse died during the robbery. Well, we are reunited with it at the end. We just won't get to see that because we are skipping the cutscenes. Right, hopefully we get good cave RNG. The cave really is a shocker.
Look at these caves. There's some of Lucky's hoof prints leading inside. We should tie up. What a beautiful cave.
Shut up. Oh, come off it!
Getting closer. Nope, this isn't the right direction.
What about this one? Please?
Nope, this isn't the right
Yeah.
direction to go.
I mean, the time's
Think
not
we're
great,
close to
but
something.
we'll keep going.
Let's try to. Awesome.
How's this?
Keep it
How's
up.
this working out for us? Hurry
Nice
up.
work.
Is this the last one? Is this the last one? Is this the last one? Yes. Let's go. And we're right near the exit. Okay. 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 Fine. Fine. Look at these caves. If we do get a top 10 time for this one, we've still got time to do like 2 more runs, so... And we've had a lot of mistakes in this, so at least we know we might even be able to get a better one.
The camp.
Yeehaw indeed! Alright, this is the boring bit. How's everyone doing? There's gonna be like a minute of this. Teresa, girl, go home. Yeah, why is she wasting my time like this? Does she not know I've got a case to solve? Is it Teresa? Is it someone? I don't know. Someone look up the lore. This is Barbie Horse Adventures Mystery Ride, specifically. Any yeehaws in chat? We got a yeehaw over here! Hurry up, man. Nays for Barbie Screamer. Oh, hell. What a life. Are there more horse mysteries? There's several, if you can believe it. Come on. Let's get ahead of time. Yes! By 1 second. Now it's all down to the train station. This could be a shocker. Ah! Keep going. There we go.
Got it. Now let's go. Hey, that sounds like the code is made up of 4 keys.
Please now. Please.
The empty speed didn't get
Nope.
any of the keys right. Let's choose different keys for the code. Way to go.
Nope. Could be worse. Could be worse. I don't think we're gonna get it.
Looks like some sort of combination lock. I bet we need to match up the symbols at the top of the screen with the. These are the photos I got from the official.
CB Kathy Bates.
I don't think
Claire
nice
Barker.
work.
Kathy Bates, isn't that a famous person? Ah! No! No! No!
Our baby horse. Now that we've solved the mystery, we can go back and ride any of the trails or replay any of the games and activities just for fun.
If you want to change your outfit, you can head to the ranch house dressing room.
Get wrecked! Pinky, thank you. Good luck from the top 3. Pinky is one of the amazing speedrunners who does like one of the insane. You've seen me doing this and where I'm trying to save time. Pinky is one of the top 3 speedrunners who have like 7.5 minutes and stuff. What does this mean? Say again. We are top 10, baby! We slayed, we nade. We slayed. We slayed. Let's go. Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to submit it, but yeah. Yeah, this is top 10. This is top 10. 9 minutes, 20 seconds. All right? So, is that a PB? This is the thing. It's not a PB. All right? So, let's just get serious for a second here. It's top 10, but it's not a PB. In fact, it's a good 9 seconds-ish off my PB. And we have got time for maybe 2 more runs. So, it's time to get serious. It's time to get serious. So, ta-da! Just for if this is the best we can do, because they'll need to submit it. 9:20, let's go. But, reset. Reset. Now let's get the PB and jelly. You know it. Yes, so we've done it. But we're going to see if we can do even better. Why am I shouting? Why am I shouting? I'm getting excited. Couple of minutes to realize you mean personal best. Yes, yes, yes. Listen, it's gamer speak. You wouldn't understand. I'm a professional esports champion. 1 year #1 Monster High Skulltimate Roller Maze world champion, even though there were only like 3 other entries, but everyone shut up. So, we have got time for at least 1, possibly 2 more runs. So let's go.
Let's ride.
Alright, everyone shut up. I keep saying that. I'm just... You guys say what you like. I'm getting serious.
fire, and it's still smoking. Someone must see the light around the metal detector. As you walk around, the green light will. No,
what happened there?
This isn't the right direction to go. Try to think right on.
No!
Teresa.
Skip! No! Stop! Stop! As if you ruined good RNG like that, Barbie! Jeez Louise! Jeez Louise! Someone's sabotaging, you know it. Listen, that happened earlier and I was like, it's not gonna happen again. I've just moved. I've just It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Are you sure you want to delete that name?
No, let's go.
Let's ride.
It's fine, it's not gonna happen again. Everything's fine. Someone in the top 10. Yeah, they're out to get me.
In the
Someone's outside my flat just like shaking the walls like, no! Ah, I'm being slow. Fine. Fine.
A campfire, and it's still smoking. Someone must have just left. See the light around the metal detector? As you walk around, I think we're close to something.
It's kind of annoying where they are.
The signal getting closer.
Do you know what? No, this is a restart. This is a restart. I'm using up my time here. Well, we've got a top 10. We've got a top 10, so this is just a bonus.
Let's ride.
Oh, wait, no. I started my timer slightly too late. Sorry. I'm being silly now. Kathy Bates yelling outside my house.
Click here to delete. Let's ride.
You can't save the horses that fast. I can. I bloody can. Right, God, I need to stop bantering and concentrate.
A campfire.
Minus 2 seconds, let's
Still
go.
smoking. Someone must have just left. See the light around the metal detector? As you walk around.
Kind of annoying, but I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna roll with it. We're in good time.
Getting closer. Nope, this isn't the right.
Oh my God. No, sorry. That's not good enough. Grand Theft Equine. Equine, rather. The meme of that woman trying to get on the bus.
Let's ride. In the
E-Queen. Yeah. It's true. It's true. It is simply true.
A campfire, and it's still smoking. Someone must have just. See the light around the metal detector?
Okay, we can do this. We can do this.
Getting closer. The signal has become weaker. Better head back the other way.
Won't you lie to me, Barbie? Clearly found what we needed. Which is horseshoes, by the way. That's what we're looking for.
Try to think. Good get. Nice work.
Nice. The real mystery ride speedrunning experience. What, being sabotaged by Kathy Bates? Ah! That was my own misclick there.
What a cute
We're a bit
little tree.
over.
I can see something on the ground. Maybe I should pull these baby goats out of the way.
Bane of my life. Get. Oh god, they're all separated and... This is not good.
You need to steer the baby in the direction of the corral.
Right, come on, we'll get you all at once. Get.
You need to
Get.
steer
Get.
the baby in the direction of the corral.
Ah! Oh no! I'm in the... Oh, miles away.
Click and drag each piece of paper into the square on the way to go. Nice one. Just a few right on. That's the four.
Okay, we're not too bad. We're not too bad.
Looks like the bridge is raised, so we can't get in. Let's tie up our horse and look around.
One goat has a soul of 7 goats. Well, they're that erratic. Ah! Oh my god!
Click here to start the adventure.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Let's ride.
I'm not mad. Why would I be mad? Why would I be mad?
In the
Well, it's over. No! Right. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Ooh, look, I'm spooky. Hang on. This is gonna... Hang on. Super glue? I rent! I'm not super gluing anything to the wall. Not with the amount of deposit my landlady's got. Right, so... The reason why this is so annoying is because it's command strips. And I really believe in command strips. They're usually amazing. They've never failed me once. But clearly, the maker of command strips is a top 10 Barbie Horse Adventure speedrunner. So, we're typing it down for a little bit of extra zhuzh, because we're doing serious business here.
To hear the directions again.
All right. Okay. We are reinforced. Come on, tape. Okay. All right. We've got time for one more run. All right. That's it. That's it.
Let's ride.
Shaking the main stage of Gayming Live. Do a no reset? Yeah. Yeah. Ideally, yeah. I just hope we get good luck. Love the outfit. Thank you, Screwtop. Got my little fringy waistcoat on.
Campfire, and it's still smoking. Someone must have
Please. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. We can do this.
the green light will
That's not too bad at all. Come on.
I think we're close to something.
One over here somewhere. I'm gonna say here.
This is
Almost.
the right direction to go.
Nice. Even if the roof falls, you've got to finish this. All right. If that light falls, shall I just do it in the dark?
Nice work.
That's quite camp. Quite spooky.
If you need help, click on the radio button in the upper right corner of the screen.
Let's go.
What a cute little treehouse. I can see something on the ground. Maybe I should pull these baby goats out of the way.
Go faster. Move!
You need to steer the baby in the direction of the corral.
Move already. Right, hang on. Get. There we go. You!
Good job. You got one into the corral.
Look at that horse parking.
Click and drag each way to go. I don't think
Shut
that
up.
piece goes
Yes,
to
it
the
does.
nice one. I don't think
Shut
that Great
up.
job. Just a few more pieces to go. Great job. That's it. The This sign leads to the flour mill. An old flour
This is
mill.
okay time,
Looks like
guys.
the bridge is raised, so we can't get in. Let's tie up our horse. and
Goats
look
might be
around.
homophobic. Homophobic goats. Just, oh my god. Barbie.
Let's try knocking the stones on the water wheel out of the way with the slingshot. Move the
The
star
fact that
over
those
the rock you
goats
wanna
won't
hit.
listen to
Then
me
hold
is
down the
just
mouse
misogyny
button
at
to
its
launch a
finest, to be
pebble with the
honest.
slingshot. You got one. Only a few more to go.
Kind of problematic.
Excellent shot. Yes, the bridge is down. Let's go inside. I can see something hidden under a pile of flour sacks.
Come on.
The excellent move. Way to go.
This looks a bit wonk. I'm worried. Oh, no. Is this the last one? No. This is it. Remember I told you it's better to hesitate in that bit than it is to click it and then not get the outro cancel. This time is okay.
I think I see
A call out
You
tweet
can use the slingshot to get them out.
for the goats. Hidden under a pile of flour sacks. It was a clue. It was a hat, actually.
That was We should investigate the town more
Come
before we
on.
leave.
Esports? Do you esports? Can we get to the caves by 4:45?
This seems a little
Can we?
familiar.
Can
Maybe
we?
should turn around.
Can we? Can we? Can we?
The riverbank.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. The thieves that you select from are originally bald men,
All right.
meaning that they're trans. What do you mean they're originally bald men? Like, in canon, in like a different Barbie Horse Adventures game? I mean, slay, I support trans crime.
Look at these caves. There's some of
Just have the horse at this point. I don't care.
What a beautiful cave.
Yes!
Getting
Come on!
closer.
This is what we like to
The signal
see.
has become weaker. Better. The signal has become weaker. Better head back the other way. Let's try to move these stones. Awesome! Keep it up. Nice work.
Don't reset, don't reset, don't reset. Is this the last one? No. And this one.
Excellent move.
Yes! Let's fucking go. Right. Oh no, don't get stuck! Don't get stuck! Don't get stuck! Oh no! Get out! Be trans, do horse robbing. I support it. listen, she's got enough horses. She can let one go. Oh, in the game files, right. I think that's just a base sprite. I don't think that's canonically trans representation, but we do what we can. Move! Oh my god! I hate when that happens.
Good girl. The camp.
Let's go. The LGBTQIA are all horse girls, confirmed. Horse girl for Barbie Horse Adventure. Listen, look at these two. This is a femme for femme representation that we need. The beta are just a placeholder, yeah. Well, I would imagine in a game like this, they probably use the same base sprite for as many things as possible. Lovers confirmed. Aha! Chase me! Aha! I see. I see what's going on. You're telling me this isn't inherently sapphic? Ah!
Let's sort these
Ah!
out.
I forgot about that! Imagine the Bop's Horse Girl would provide for a future Barbie game. Again, I support it. This is a decent time, but it could all go pear-shaped. We are also slightly running over time, but that is the nature of the speedruns. We don't know how many times we're gonna have to restart.
Now, hey, that sounds like lucky.
Ah! What the get in? Ah!
Before keys from the machine. Click and
Oh, I'm
drag the keys
furious.
into the empty
Nice work.
I'm furious.
It looks like some sort of combination lock. I bet we need to match up the
I'm
symbols
absolutely
at the
furious.
top of the screen with the...
These are the photos I got.
L,
from the
L, L,
horse-
Lizzie Lane.
I don't think that's
Leanne
nice
Little.
work.
Leanne Little, I'm on to you. Come on.
This is the win to visit your baby horse.
Come on.
Our baby. Now that we've solved the mystery, we can
It was
go back
worth
and
it.
ride any of the
It was
trails
worth
or
it.
replay any of the games.
9:14, baby.
If you want to change your outfit, you can head to the ranch house.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Guys, hit the sleigh button. Hit the sleigh button. Let me just
Oh, that was quite an experience watching that from home.
Tense moments.
I
tense
know.
moments.
Over Barbie of all things as well.
I never realised how enthralled I would be at herding goats in my life. I was glued.
Honestly, like I'd be walking around and like checking out the footage and then like stop, and then the next thing I know, a good few chunks of time had gone by and I was like, oh my goodness.
I couldn't take my eyes off it. I was in it to the end.
Oh my god. And like the pressure of doing that live as well was just it was lovely. I think we have Mynxie on the line so we can get chatting to her in person. Hello!
hello.
How's it going? How are you feeling after all of that?
I'm good. I'm good. I was so we got the top 10 time about halfway through the hour, but it wasn't anywhere near my PB, and I was a little bit nervous we weren't going to get a better time, but we did. We did. 9:14. We are up there. I think that puts us at number 9, I think, on the leaderboard.
Oh my God, congrats.
There's quite a big gap between 8 and 9, so let's let's not commit to ever getting higher than that.
Honestly, you did a great job, like, in and of itself. I would love to know, like, why Barbie? And, like, that specific title in the Barbie series as well.
Okay, so why Barbie? Honestly, because it's camp.
Yeah.
Because we did Monster High, we did Barbie Supermodel. We're probably not going to do a Bratz game because those games, the runs are really long and it's just a bit tedious to speedrun. But yeah, so that's why the series. In terms of that game, honestly, with Barbie Horse Adventures, that game is the one with the shortest run, which I find a lot easier because I'm not like a professional speedrunner. I'm not someone who can do like a Dark Souls speedrun or something like that. So to have a run that's like an hour long, if you mess up and you have to start again at like 40 minutes in, I do not have the attention span for that. Whereas something that's like a 9-minute run, I can keep running it and I can keep trying and getting better at it. And it feels good, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're saying that you're not a professional, but you made it look professional, Mynxie.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because the light's falling down. I'm wearing a silly hat.
Technical
You're like, oh, it's so
difficulties,
professional.
that
Like,
doesn't
yes,
count.
actually, this is my job. I'm an esports champion.
Technical difficulties don't count. That's totally fine. Like, you still managed to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep on trying.
We like a bit of pantomime. Like on my Twitch channel when we hang out and we do these kinds of speedruns. We like a bit of pantomime. We like a bit of camp.
Yes, that is the way forward. So what future speedruns do you have planned?
You know, I have to go through it because there's like I said, I can't do something that's too long a run because I don't have the attention span. And it just depends on what I can get my hands on as well, especially with when we're going for these camp sort of franchises and stuff. A lot of them are very old games. Like this one is from 2003, which I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but in my Twitch merch shop, I made mugs a while ago before I even decided that say, oh, you're a hardcore gamer. Do you even speedrun Barbie Horse Adventures brackets 2003? Bruh, didn't think so. And we just thought that was funny, but now we actually do speedrun Barbie Horse Adventures. So we want to keep the theme of like silly franchises. So I would like to look through the Scooby-Doo series and see if there is a Scooby-Doo game that we can feasibly speedrun. And maybe, if I can find one in time, we can do it on Halloween.
Ooh, now that would be excellent. And also, I love a full circle moment. I love that you were able to speak this prophecy into being with the mug. Like, it's...
Literally, I was just, I just thought this was really funny. I was just like, because we did do Barbie Supermodel for NES before, and I just thought that was camp because Barbie Horse Adventures is one that, everyone's heard of and a lot of people played as a kid. And now we've manifested it. We've manifested it. We're top 10, baby.
Yes, I love that for you. So, to any like aspiring speedrunners in the chat, do you have any advice for them?
My advice is don't ask me. I think just find something that you enjoy. I think it depends on your personality. Like some people are really into like hard games and they're really good at gaming, and so that's why they get into it. For us, it's more like we can have a laugh with something, and then if it's something that we can stick at, then we can just have that repetition and just, it's fun and it's interesting finding the glitches and the exploits and stuff, and being able to, just being able to have a speedrun.com profile that literally just says Barbie, Monster High, Scooby-Doo. I just think that's really camp.
Yeah, that's amazing. You got any thoughts on speedrunning?
Well, I'm definitely going to get into it now. I revisited an old game that I played as a kid recently. I went back and played Ocarina of Time after 20 years. But now, seeing this sort of like speedrun, I was really enthralled by it. I was so invested, Mynxie, absolutely. But you said that this game came out in 2003.
Yeah.
How on earth are you managing to play it on your computer then? Because wasn't it on a disc back then? You got it!
Some way, somehow.
I tried to just play it with the ROM, but as I mentioned at the start of the hour, it was crashing my entire computer. Like I would have to force restart it. Whereas this occasionally crashes, but it's just the game. I can just restart it and it's fine.
Yeah.
So
As you were saying, one of those other elements of RNG.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mynxie. You smashed it. We had a blast watching you. We had so much fun hanging out with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
No, of course. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Amazing stuff. Oh my goodness. That was a lot, but in the best way. I had such a fun time. Maybe I'll start speedrunning. Who knows?
It looks like it's a bunch of fun, though.
It does. It definitely does. So we're gonna switch gears just a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I have something super exciting to share with you all. So we're introducing Remag, a new app that helps you connect with gamers in our community. Remag, which is gamer spelled backwards, has just started rolling out in North America. So we will be amongst the first in the community to join the action and provide feedback to help Remag in their mission to build a positive space that connects gamers from all walks of life. In Remag, you can craft your own unique profile, select your favorite avatar, list the games you love to play, and explore other profiles to discover your perfect gaming companions. You can also get your hands on these super cute Pride-themed avatar rings. Now I know sometimes online gaming can be a bit challenging, let's say, but Remag is on a mission to change that. They're all about inclusivity and creating a space where everyone feels respected and valued. No toxicity allowed here, folks. I was going to bang on the table, but no. It's all about fun and forging real connections. We're partnering up with Remag to make our gaming community even stronger and more connected than ever. We believe in the power of inclusivity, positivity, and celebrating diversity in gaming. Remag is the perfect place to bring all of that together. So, to celebrate this event and our wonderful community, the Remag team have created some custom profile frames that you can add to your profile after exploring the app. So, let's go ahead and make our community shine. Also, for anyone that joins the gaming community on Remag before the end of October, you could be in with a chance to win an Xbox Series X. So, if you're in the US or Canada, why wait? Go and download Remag now and we'll see you in the gaming community. So Veronica, I have to say, despite all that positivity and loveliness, I'm gutted that we're in the UK and we cannot join in.
It's such a hopefully it's only a matter of time before it comes across the pond.
Exactly, because how amazing does Remag sound?
It sounds like absolutely a fantastic way to connect a community together. Because at the moment we do have limited options, especially for LGBT people, marginalised communities and whatnot. I myself on Twitch, I have my community over on Discord. There's Facebook groups that you can join and other different platforms. But I think what is really, really great for Remag is that it's a nice safe space for LGBT people, and it's specifically designed for that inclusivity and that safety. And I really like the idea of it all.
Yeah, no, exactly, because, you know, it's so important to be able to find, like, your little, like, online tribe or your online community, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because within the gaming community worldwide, everybody has their own loves of different games, and being able to find people that are not only into the same games as you, but also have the same sort of worldviews as well can be really, really difficult. There is a lot of toxicity in the gaming community as a whole. So having something like this, where you can connect with like-minded people with that safety in mind as well, I think is really, really going to be beneficial, and it's fantastic.
I know, exactly. I mean, like, even when I was growing up, like, trying to find, like, people to play games with online, like, wading into some of those group chats, it was an extreme sport, let's say.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's nice that things have progressed enough that we can have the conversation, first of all, and then find our tribe and communities, hopefully.
Oh, 100%. And I think that this is the perfect app for it. It just needs to come to the UK.
Exactly. That's the only thing we have left. So, you know, talking about, like, online gaming, what are some of your favorite online games to play?
My favorite online game to play is League of Legends.
Oh my yes, like you mentioned earlier.
I mentioned it earlier on. I've been playing it for, gosh, about 10 years. Probably as long as I've been doing drag, in fact.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I mean, I just love that kind of like battleground arena where you're playing alongside other real people. And they're very, very short matches as well with League of Legends. Well, short matches, they're like 45 minutes.
Short move.
But I just love that competitive spirit that you can get in that game. And there's so many characters to choose from. So many. My icon, Zyra, I love her to pieces. I mean, you can tell I'm sort of like a little bit of a villain at heart, and I love my Poison Ivy themed stuff.
Of course. I mean, given that you've been playing for so long, like surely like Remag would have come in so handy like years ago, right?
Oh, 100%. Because you know, back when I started gaming, if people in the voice chats or in the forums found out that you were gay, or that even if you girl gamers, like those kinds of things, just instantly you get bullied for being yourself. So I think an app like Remag is absolutely perfect for our community.
Yeah, exactly. Like the minute they get like a whiff or a hint of you just being something that's like other, they jump on it. But hopefully with the introduction of things like Remag, that will be an experience no more.
Yes.
Hopefully we can progress as a society in the way that we're meant to.
Well, I do think we are progressing bit by bit, but it's being able to give the opportunity, isn't it, for us to grow as a community. I think it's so important.
Exactly, which is great. So it's amazing that we have things like Remag that exist in the first place, and I cannot wait to hear more about it and their mission to create online safe spaces. So let's find out more about Remag and the importance of creating safe online communities in their panel hosted by Robin, which is coming up right now.
Hello and welcome to Creating Safe Online Communities, an awesome panel all about creating safe, non-toxic communities and their importance. This panel is sponsored by Remag, a new app that helps you connect with gamers in our community. And I'm delighted to be joined by our panelists for this wonderful panel. So I'm going to go around the screen in the order that I'm looking at it on the screen. And I want you to just introduce yourself, tell me who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about you before we get started in sort of your, I don't know, let's say your experience with working with communities to date. So I'm going to go to Gemma first.
Hi, I'm Gemma, as you can see, community manager at Raw Fury. I've been a community manager in the games industry for coming on 5 years now, which makes me feel ancient, which is insane to say, but obviously it's such a new concept. I still have to explain my job to so many people, not just my nan. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful to be working for Raw Fury, which is a publisher, which means I work with a variety of different games. And I've seen a variety of different environments. I've worked for a kids game, I've worked for an agency, I've worked for big AAA games. I feel like I've seen all different kinds of communities, and I'm very aware of how toxic all communities can be and also how welcoming they can. So I'm really glad we're having these kinds of conversations. And I'm based in London. That's pretty much it.
Fantastic. Rafi?
Hey everyone. My name is Rafi. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I am the co-founder and president of NYC Gamers. We are a 501c3 nonprofit that utilizes gaming spaces as a way to create safer spaces while also having healthier conversations about issues impacting our communities throughout all of its intersections. Born and raised in the Bronx, so community means a lot to me, especially being someone who's Black, Puerto Rican, neurodivergent. Community means so much to me because it's usually in community that I find chosen family. And I found that in gaming.
Wonderful. Nell.
Hi, I'm Nell. I'm a community manager at Remag. I've been in games either as community manager or influencer marketing manager for going on 8 years now. Just love the community aspect of it. I started out as a content creator, actually, and quickly found out that I didn't want to make that a job. So I jumped into working on games, and I've worked on everything from small indie titles to Game of the Year nominees. And it's been an absolute blast. And I now work on Remag, and I love being able to bring people together. And I'm based in Austin, Texas, and I'm one of the few that's from here. So,
And what does community mean to you now?
a sense of belonging. I'm probably like a lot of gamers out there. Don't have a bunch of IRL friends. Most of my friends live online in different spaces, and finding a place to belong online has always been important to me. And now being able to foster that sense of belonging in those communities as a career actually means the world to me.
Wonderful. And last but certainly not least, the wonderful SB Simone.
Hello. My name is SB Simone. I am a content creator, a Twitch streamer. Actually, I've been streaming for about 2 years. I'm from Louisiana, so I find that community means so much to me because growing up, I didn't really have a sense of community. And it wasn't until I got older and started to surround myself with more Black queer people that I started to be able to dive into just being my authentic self, which kind of leads me to what community means to me, is somewhere where I can just be around people like myself and just kind of live authentically as myself and just feel supported and uplifted. And thinking about communities, I actually work alongside Twitch, building a community, the Black Unity Guild with Twitch. I'm one of their leaders. And it just provides me an opportunity to create a space for Black creators to just come, like I said, and be their authentic selves, because we know we already have so many hurdles to cross. To craft out a space where you just show up and you say, listen, I know we all have our struggles. Let's just have like a big party, a big family reunion in a Discord. Let's support each other the best ways that we can. And that's what community is to me.
I love that, and I think it's really important. And I think it's a piece that we're going to keep coming back to, which is around sort of finding that authenticity, that community that really means something that actually kind of will help not only provide the fun piece, but also help sort of improve all our lives as well. So my first question is, why are online LGBTQ community groups so important? I'm going to jump at Rafi first, but by all means, everybody else sort of chip in after.
Thank you. I think that it's important because speaking from the eye, right, as a gamer, I think that there's a depth that's added to gaming and my gaming experience when I find people who also like playing the games, who happen to hold identities that mirror, if not intersect with mine, right, with my lived experiences, right? So it's one thing for me to, let's say, go to a bar in Midtown Manhattan and meet up with coworkers. And maybe there's a Pac-Man machine and we're taking turns playing Pac-Man, right? And I'm like, wow, this is something that we all like to play. That's a commonality, right? But we also share the frustrations of having a white collar job and what does that look like? And why do we all need to go to a bar after work once a week, right? I think about that energy and I think about what it means for me as a Black Latinx queer person, right? To go online and play games like Fortnite, for example, right? Where I can meet with other folks that I met through other platforms and social communities who also hold the identities that I do and have gone through the things that I'm navigating. That may be the reasons why gaming has become this safe space for me, has become this outlet for self-care and for just community care too, right? We all get to come together and play these games. And just for a little while, the world feels less crappy to me. I feel less isolated. I feel less, you know, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I feel more because I feel less, if that makes sense.
SB, how about you?
I think that having a LGBT like community presence online is very important, especially in gaming, because when you take a look at gaming from a wide scale, it is typically cisgendered, straight, white men who give us such a horrible time just existing. And naturally, this will push so many people away from gaming, but gaming for a lot of us tends to be our safe space. So if this is our safe space, but at the same time, people are dragging us down, how can we come together to kind of support one another to continue to have this be a safe space. You build community, you start community. So now if I open up a game and somebody is like just completely rude to me, I'm not too stressed out about it. I laugh it off now because it's like, okay, yeah, you say this to me, but now I know I can turn around. I have so many people behind me that love and support me, that continue to create this space within gaming for me as a queer person to continue to enjoy my safe space, continue to feel safe in a space where I'm able to just kind of disconnect from the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think having those spaces is always super important. I think, Nell, actually, you made a point during your introduction that typically a lot of your friends kind of live in the magic box in front of you rather than necessarily kind of in real life. So I'm going to come to you next, actually, around your thoughts on why those online community groups are so important.
Yeah, you know, as a queer person, but also a diehard MMORPG fan, I put myself in the communities that are known for their toxicity, right? And you know, it's to no fault of the developers. You know, their community managers work day in and day out to foster a positive community, but sometimes you just can't help it. And so having a place that feels safe for me, but also still allows me to be myself, and not have to, you know, hide in trade chat and not and not show my true self, has actually been super important, not only helping me grow as a person, but to get better at those games that I play. I can see my progression as, you know, when it comes to my skill level because of the communities that I was able to become a part of, and those spaces within, you know, these massive games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14, that do have a lot of hate thrown at marginalized communities, from, you know, the kind of the vocal minority of the community. So for me, it's just, you know, a way to not only hone my skills, but just, you know, lose myself for anywhere from 2 to 12 hours in Azeroth or Eorzea.
I love that. Gemma, any thoughts on the online LGBTQ communities and their importance?
Yeah, I think it's really important that we all kind of have our own personal experiences from, you know, an identity perspective, but also on a larger scale, if we're thinking about like human psychology, belonging is one of the fundamental parts of who we are and how we relate to the world around us. And it's the very thing that differentiates video games from just being a product that we consume to a part of our lives, which is how it is these days. It is, you know, it's such a fundamental part of who we are. And if we are isolating such a core group of people, how can they possibly belong and experience that fundamental part of what it is to experience games? They can't identify with it. If there is no conscious effort being made to involve the LGBT community in the conversations, in the communities, making it safe for them, then it's active exclusion, you know. So it's really important that, I guess, from a perspective as I'm bisexual, as a bi person, for me to experience in other games, but also when doing the community management side of things, that I think the thing I often find myself saying is, yes, I understand that the LGBT community is maybe like a smaller minority, albeit not that small of a minority. They are probably one of the most important things for us to be bearing in mind, because it's crucial that they are a part of it.
Absolutely, and I think you make a very fair point about really making sure that the belonging piece, I think, is really important. And I think I would go so far to say that I think the beauty of online communities, and obviously with people that are here either as content creators or having been content creators, obviously Rafi, from your sort of IRL point of view, bringing people together. I think you mentioned it yourself, Rafi, about sort of finding family, finding friends is so important, and the ability to kind of reach into geographically parts of either the country, the world, other countries, etc., that there exists LGBTQ people who are either being oppressed or are being marginalized or sidelined or excluded. I think the beauty of an online community is you no longer have to go and live in a big city. Like there was that whole trend obviously back in the day where people came out, and typically you either go east or go west in America, up to New York or down to LA or San Francisco. And I think we're now at a stage where people can exist in some of the sort of more the red states or whatever, because they have a good functioning, high quality online community that they can belong to. So I think there's an element of that as well, which is really important. Gemma, I'm going to come back to you for a second, because my next question really is around the importance of communities as a whole to gamers, not specifically related to the LGBTQ community. So in your experience as a community manager, can you sort of maybe give us a bit of top line around why it's so good for communities to develop around specific games?
I think the key thing that I tend to say to developers and the wider company is there seems to be this misunderstanding that community management is a part of marketing. How can we sell the product? What I say is community management is about how can we keep people enjoying the product, and that is with community. Like single-handedly, the only thing, a game can be amazing, a game can be incredible. The only thing that is going to keep them around is if they feel heard, if they feel like they have other people to enjoy it with and experience it with. I mean, like Rafi was saying, I think like we seek family in everything we do, whether we like it or not. It's one of the most fundamental parts of who we are as people. So if we want to take a game and make it more important than just the game itself, don't get me wrong, the game is important. I'm so scared my developers now are going to be like, what do you think of my game? Like the game in and of itself is important as a story, but for it to really connect with people, that's where the community comes in and keeps it around.
I think SB, I'm going to cross over to you there actually, because I think part of the job in a way of a content creator, particularly in the Twitch space, is creating some of that community. Like we've seen games such as Fall Guys, such as Dead by Daylight, that have come up through the streaming communities, and content creators have kind of coalesced their communities around certain games. How do you sort of see that play out? And do you have any kind of experiences of bringing your community along to sort of enjoy a new game?
When I think about my community, a big part, a big reason my community came about comes from like the queer aspect, because I'm a Black queer person. A majority of my community are Black queer people. But when I think about just like communities in general and why they are important, especially to gamers, I think about the fact that, kind of like Gemma said, people always look for family. They look for family. So when you do things, granted, there are some people who are loners. Whenever you do something, you're looking for people who are like you. And especially when you are playing these multiplayer games, you run across people. You eventually start running across the same people. So naturally, you become curious about them and curious about learning more about them. So you dive into that. And then that leads you to kind of establishing a community, sometimes without even realizing that you are now a part of a community. I play MMOs a lot too, Nell. I play RuneScape. I think I talked about this last time I was on the podcast.
Yeah.
About how much RuneScape I play. And that's kind of one of those things. You run into that same person over and over and over, and you just become curious. And the next thing you know, y'all are friends. The next thing you know their friends. And now you have a community. Were you necessarily searching for it? Maybe on a subconscious level, yes. But I wouldn't say I actively search for it in that moment. But you just kind of, it finds you. It finds you. I like, kind of like the cat distribution system. Community kind of distributes itself sometimes. You're just like, oh, I just so happen upon this. And I think that happens a lot with gamers. Like, people found me from Dead by Daylight, but then they're like, oh, this is something bigger than that. This is not just Dead by Daylight. This is somebody who truly cares about Black queer people. So now it kind of transcended from just I'm here for Dead by Daylight community to other reasons. So I think that there's so many different reasons for community that you just find yourself in one, and the next thing you know, that evolves into like 30 of them.
Nell?
I going around about, my sense of belonging and why I think that's important. And that's why I got into community management, is because as someone who does try to find these places in MMOs like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV, I want people to experience what I've experienced and make the friendships that I've been able to make through these games. And I think, especially in today's world where we're all so connected, and as you mentioned, people aren't moving to the big cities anymore. In fact, I'm probably about to go live out the back of my car for a month and a half, right? But I'll still be connected with my friends. And I think that's why community in games is so important, because no matter where you are, that community exists and you exist within it and you belong. And it's a way for us, as Jim has said, to let people be heard internally, be the bullhorn internally for the community, but also to reward community for being there and showing them that they matter to us on like a professional level, right? Like at the end of the day, I'm still a community manager. That's what I do for a living. And I want my community to know that they belong where we are, but also how important they are to me. I think, frankly, without them, I wouldn't have a job. So it's like, it's twofold, right? Like I want people to experience that. And I also want them to know that, like, hey, you're important. Like what you do, what you say matters in this industry. And don't forget that, sometimes the games industry feels like this big, scary monster that's, untouchable. And so I think that's why communities for gaming are important, because it makes those brands approachable.
I think, Rafi, you said that gaming is kind of a big leveler in a way that it kind of brings people together from whatever background. How do you sort of feel about the importance of communities, either obviously with your hat on from an LGBT point of view, but also community in general? You mentioned Fortnite earlier that you're a big player of.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get the cat metaphor out of my head because I'm like, it really does feel like herding cats at times. But it's interesting because I've met so many people throughout gaming community who aren't LGBTQ plus, right? Who aren't Black, Latinx, and a part of these like subcultures that make up a huge part of my truth and a part of my experiences, right? But what connects us is our love for gaming. And I think that that's something that needs to be explored more in gaming communities, right? Like your best friend while you're playing Overwatch or Baldur's Gate or whatever, like your best gaming buddy can be someone who is on the absolute opposite, ideologies as you to an extent, right? Because there's also ethical. We could talk about that in another panel. But because look, don't call me. Look, I'm not naive. I'm not saying that everyone is going to be besties with like the far right to the far left because they play, Apex Legends or whatever the case is. But I think it's important to acknowledge that no matter where you are in the matrix of domination, in the matrices of oppression, right? The one thing that connects all of us as a people is our inherent desire to communicate. And one way that we universally communicate with one another is through play, right? So whether it's as a child playing hand games on a playground, or it's, a stick with a hoop, like the meme of like a hoop with a stick going downhill, right? Or it's a video game that's like massive MMORPG or the indie, oh, God bless the indie games and indie game culture and all of it, right? Whatever it may be, you belong and you find community. And it just adds even more love and more joy to that when you meet people who have lived experiences that you've lived in some way, shape, or form, because then you feel so much less alone in so many different variables.
Absolutely. So I'm going to come straight back to you, Rafi, because I think this one applies to you the best to sort of kick us off, both in terms of being online and offline. And there's obviously going to be some differences, and we'll come on to that with my next question. But what makes a safe space for LGBTQ gamers?
I love that question. I believe that in order for a space to be assumed safe, you have to cultivate a space where community members can claim safety and have a way of engaging in some kind of dialogue around what does safety look like. Because what's safe for you may not be safe for me, right? So, for example, when I play Overwatch with my friends, I'll look to see if there's any options around disabling the chat, because the moment that you disable the chat so that I don't see what opponents and folks that I'm not communicating with are chatting about, right? That may increase safety for me because I don't allow that energy in my space if that's an accessible option, right? But that may not be something that someone I'm playing with wants, right? So being able to have a space that is editable, right? Editable, right? To to kind of like mold itself in a way that meets my needs without my needs disrupting the collective. That to me is like how we create a safer space and how we make it intentional. Also making sure that the people who are not just stakeholders but leading these spaces, you know, whether they're paid staff or they're lead volunteers or whatever the case, make sure that they're a reflection of the communities that you're serving and uplifting.
Agreed. Espy, you're nodding quite a lot, so I'm going to come to you next.
I think in terms of safe spaces for LGBTQ gamers, it's very important for us to realize that we can say that we have a safe space, but until people around you start to echo that, then you cannot truly be sure that your space is safe. Because I've walked into so many different spaces that have labeled themselves a safe space for queer people, but then when I stick around, you start to see that the way they speak about trans people doesn't make me feel safe. The way they start to erase bisexual people doesn't make me feel safe. The way that they... Did I come back?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, the way that they just treat other people within the LGBTQ atmosphere does not feel safe. And I think that that is something that is so important for us as queer people to remember, that LGBTQ doesn't stop at L and G. And I think a lot of people tend to forget that. They think, oh, okay, we got the LG part, we're so safe. But in reality, you are not safe. You're not safe because you are cutting out so many different people out of the community. And this is why I say it's important for people in your community of so many different backgrounds to say, I feel safe here, before you can truly say, okay, this is a safe space for queer people.
I think that's really important. I think it's actually something that we try and strive for on our side, which is we don't necessarily disregard the L and the G, but we kind of take it as read that they'll be broadly okay. It's actually for us, our concern is always to start at the other end of the alphabet and work backwards, upwards towards the L and the G. Like, I want to make sure that the BTQIA plus is more looked after, and because they're the ones that really need that support, to Rafi's point. And I think the L and the G, we'll get to them at the end. Gemma, I'm coming over to you next for the same question. How, either through your own personal experience or through your work, in your mind, what designates a safe space for the community?
This is such a good question because I have experienced a plethora of chaos in my communities and had to deal with, okay, what is it that I'm sorry? What is someone is
a busy
really,
night in London.
Someone's going crazy. There have been situations where it's like, okay, something is not quite right. And I think what I've found in my time of community management is it's really up to the people with the megaphone to set the standard of communication and expectation. I think that a lot of higher up people, community managers, things like that, you know, in the past especially, there's this idea, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I want to cater to our largest, the people that are paying the most, you know, being completely honest, and we don't want to ruffle any feathers. Again, like I said before, the problem is that means that you're actively not including a huge group of people actually that are playing games. And like an example of that was, I remember, so I was working for Adopt Me, which was a kids game on Roblox. And I was working on it during the start of the Black Lives Matter movement after the murder of Trayvon Martin. And a lot of conversations were happening in our Discord that were not sensitive. You know, you've got young people in a Discord. They were very confused and they were very upset. And we had two options, which was be completely silent and allow it to continue, or just completely ban it from happening whatsoever, or emulating the kind of conversation that we expect among those kinds of young people and allowing them to regulate themselves. And I think the decision we made was, let's not monopolize the conversation, but let's make let's make a statement that says, this is where we stand, we're in support, this is what we expect from you guys. And it's hard as well because they're children, you know, you're like, how do I explain this complex thing? But they're in that world and it's happening. Ignoring real world events affecting minorities puts you at such a disadvantage in creating those kinds of safe spaces. So I find as long as you're honest and you're reflective of real goings on in the world and you're listening and you're creating the environment that you expect, communities do then, because they want to belong, tend to emulate what they see. I hope that makes sense.
No, absolutely. I think it's really important. I think look, silence equals death. We know that. And I think it's something that we always have to sort of like, with the more positive conversation that's out in the world. And I think, to your point, setting the standard and really getting out in front of everything and sort of taking the lead and saying, no, we're doing this, or this is the kind of standard we aspire this community to belong to, I think is super important. Nell, I'm going to come to you last but not least on this topic.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to add beyond what everyone's already said, right? I think the big thing for me in finding a safe space, and especially with the games that I play, is knowing that the community leaders essentially have our back. They're going to be vocal. They're you know, kind of going to lay down the law when they have to, and they get rid of toxicity at its core. You know, if there's a problem group of people, you get rid of them. So for me, that safe space always looks like a well-built community. There's a vocal leader, but also there are people who will stand up and fight beside you. And that's how it's always been for the communities that I've been a part of. We have some bad actors come in and you see the community kind of rally together and be like, listen, we don't put up with that here. You know, everyone is allowed to be themselves. This isn't trade chat. You can't act like that here. Right. So yeah, for me, it's that like vocal leadership, really for me defines this safe space. But also what Rafi said, like my safe space isn't going to be your safe space, isn't going to be their safe space. It's going to vary. So for me, that's the ones that I found.
I think that point's really important. And just to come back at Rafi on that, actually, in terms of kind of creating a safe space for everybody, you end up potentially running the risk of actually not creating a safe space for anyone. So I think just really on your point, and it probably picks up on my next question, which is, so you have your safe space, but how do you work to really create and foster that safe space? It's about learning, I guess. It's about being prepared to pivot, update, reevaluate, etc.
Well, I think that, you know, I do this often in my independent work as a consultant around diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? One of the biggest misunderstandings in my work is we assume that creating safer spaces means creating more exclusionary spaces. And that is not what we're looking for. That's not what we're asking for, right? While yes, it is important to create spaces that are exclusively curated for Black women and, you know, trans community and folks living with disabilities, invisible or visible disabilities, this and that and third. Yes, everyone knows what it's like to have the experience of the like no girls allowed boys treehouse kind of situation and how everyone should have a treehouse. Fine, right? When we're creating safer spaces, what we're doing is that we're creating a network of accessibility options. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It's about accessibility options. Language access is an accessibility option. Tech access is an accessibility option, right? Ways to be less of an asshole is an accessibility option, right? Because it's about the intent versus the impact. So in my experience, when we're working with community in order to expand on accessibility options so that folks can claim safety, right? Whether it be in a community group or in a video game, right? Or even a tabletop, because I'm a dungeon master, right? What I realized is in doing so with some of the most marginalized voices in the space, I am inherently creating more options for folks who may have less privileges, like, or who have more privileges and more access and may not need as much, but until it's an option, then suddenly they're like, oh, that's an option, I want to use that too, you know. So a metaphor that I give folks whenever I'm working with them around DEI stuff is a lot of people didn't even know that they needed dark mode until it was an accessible option, right? But you have people who are inherently living with, you know, like access needs, right? Where if you're someone who can live without dark mode, you've lived your entire life without dark mode, it's never crossed your mind. But now that it's become this like standard in tech, right? Where you have people living with disabilities who inherently need dark mode and are thankful for the option. You now have folks on the mainstream who don't even identify as having these disabilities or may not have self-diagnosed or have gone through whatever case, right? They're using it, whether it's because it's aesthetically pleasing or neurally pleasing or whatever the case is, right? If that's something that dark mode does, imagine what having pronouns can do. Imagine what having more options around taking pride in your identities without having hate speech thrown at you can do.
Absolutely. I think that's the dark mode thing is a genius metaphor, by the way, and I'm going to proudly steal that. Gemma, I'm going to come back over to you because you touched on it earlier about when we were talking about the previous question, when you were saying around being a leader, being a voice, really kind of setting the standard. Probably thinking a bit broader in general for you, how do you work to create and foster those kind of safe communities in your day-to-day role?
I think like Rafi made multiple amazing points there, and I think 100% it's about opening doors, not closing them. And I think there is this perspective of, but if you focus on this, you lose this, and that's not necessarily true by any means. So if I'm listening, you know, to the LGBT community, if I'm making sure that I'm listening to like all of the minorities in our community, that doesn't mean that I'm not also actively listening to the people that are maybe more used to having a voice and being heard. It just means that there is also this. It's like yes, and it's not no, I'm ignoring you now. And I think it's reflective of like a wider kind of, I think we've seen society and culture. I'm not going to pretend to like completely understand everything that happened that led to Donald Trump being elected, but I think like we've seen so much progress and sudden panic of like, but what about me? What about me? What about me? You know, and I think as we've seen over time, we've kind of realized that, oh no, okay, them having a space also is good for me. It's good for all of us because it means all of us get this better sense of belonging and human connection and interaction. And I think, yeah, I'm also going to be using the dark mode analogy in my future. I remember I trained to be a teacher briefly. And I remember seeing all the teachers using Comic Sans, and I was thinking, Comic Sans sucks. That's so lame. And the first thing they said is like, well, it's really, really good for people with dyslexia. It's like one of the best things they could read at the time. And from that moment on, I was like, seeing Comic Sans does not affect my life in any way. I can still read it. I'm still having a great day. All it does is open a door. So yeah, just listening, opening doors, and staying true to it as well, and honest, and focusing on that sense of inclusion and listening.
I love that your pathway is going to be potentially towards a teacher. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to say thank you, Miss Garner.
Thank you.
SB, in terms of managing your own community, how do you and your team sort of create that really positive, safe space and then foster that and learn from it and adapt and twist and turn?
I think the biggest part in fostering a safe space and fostering a community is just always being willing to learn. Being willing to learn because when you surround yourself with so many people, there are so many different perspectives that are coming your way. And I remind myself all the time, yes, I am one of the leaders of the Black Unity Guild, but Black people are not a monolith. So we are not all the same. So our experiences are so different from person to person that if you just open your ears and you listen to people and you listen to their stories, you listen to their perspectives, it can teach you so much. And even like adding on top of that, I think a big thing within communities that is important is kind of embracing the nuance in a lot of situations, because a lot of situations require difficult conversations. And sometimes within a safe space, you need to have that difficult conversation in order for you to grow, in order for you to continue to make this a safe space. Because, like someone said earlier, your space is only as safe as the people in it say it is. So if people are saying your space is not safe, then is your space really safe? So just embracing everything that everybody brings to you. I'm not saying you have to enforce every single thing, because you can't please every single person in a community, but doing your best to make sure that a majority of your people feel comfortable, and people feel comfortable coming in and having difficult conversations. And I think that is such a good marker in knowing that you have created a space for people to speak their mind in a sense where you can have a difficult conversation and without the disrespect. I really got to put that part in, because sometimes we have difficult conversations and it's just like disrespect littered all in it, but just like a difficult conversation that's meaningful and helpful and teaches people that are involved different things about life, and just help you realize that everybody in this community is different, and each person has a little piece of themselves to offer to help other people make themselves a better version of themselves.
I think that's a really interesting point about, you said that the community needs to come together. A safe space is where people can come together and say important things and say, have those kind of difficult discussions without there being kind of any major comebacks. I think the safe space analogy risks almost becoming an echo chamber if it's too heavily enforced in one specific direction. Because I think then, and we all know that echo chambers on any side of the political sort of divide is not a good thing. So I think, yeah, it's a really interesting test, a litmus test, if you will, where can two people come together and have a difficult conversation without there being any sort of toxicity involved. So I think that's really cool. Nell, working previously, obviously, as a community manager, working now as a community manager, similar sort of question to Gemma. How do you sort of like in your day-to-day sort of set out to really work and kind of craft and foster that space, particularly obviously with a new space coming up on the outside with Remag? Tell us maybe a little bit about your work in setting out the sort of standards for that.
Yeah. So it's difficult as a community manager. Also, I also studied to be a teacher. This is not the first time I've met another community manager who studied to be a teacher. So it seems like we're all like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. But you know, it's a difficult task as a community manager to create a safe space, because we have to basically work with everyone, right? Like our communities are diverse in political ideology and, you know, sexual orientation, gender, and walks of life, religion. Like we're bringing everyone together. And so it's this monumental task of how do we make it to where everyone feels safe, regardless of who they are. And for me, it's always started with resources, because we can't just outright eliminate people from our community, right? Because we have a product to sell. At the end of the day, we are a tool to help make money. That is what we are. So it starts with resources, and I've always said I think Discord has done a great job with their trust and safety landing page on their website. And I've always believed that providing those resources is a good first step in creating a safe community for a game or for a product like Remag. Letting people know that, hey, these are the resources that we have for you should something happen. On top of that, it's building out one of the best moderation teams humanly possible, so that you have coverage in your community wherever it may live, around the clock. And that has always been a top priority for me, is understanding that our moderation team is probably more important to this safe space than I am. They're the ones that are boots on the ground, seeing everything that comes through, while I'm just gathering feedback, and I'm talking to people, and I'm hosting events, and I'm doing all 47 roles that come with being a community manager. So it's resources and moderation for me in terms of creating and fostering a safe space for everyone, right? Obviously, we have our community guidelines, what you can say, what you can't say, what you can do, what you can't do. And we will take action if you are being a big turd in that community, right? And we will, right? I will not hesitate to remove someone from a community for breaking our guidelines or for just being a bad person. So for me, like, as a community manager, it's so hard, but at the end of the day, it's also so easy to do it if you just provide the resources and you moderate effectively. You also let everyone know that, hey, there are people from all walks of life. Watch your language. Don't say this. Don't be a phobe of any kind. It's pretty easy to keep your community on the straight and narrow with like those two simple things. And that's what with Remag specifically, I've put so much time and effort into, is like, hey, we want to be accepting of people of all walks of life, but you all have to agree to be civil and to respect one another and understand that people are different. And if you can't see that, then you don't have a home with us.
I think that's really important. I think it's always good to hear. I think the point you made around moderators, boots on the ground, I think is vitally important. We've seen in previous guises, whether it through Facebook or other platforms, we've seen examples where the challenge of language barriers and misinterpretations, or okay, so half the team, the moderation team's out in Asia, but how does that relate to sort of being LGBTQ? And it's sort of, there's always that challenge.
Can I quickly add in?
Yes.
I think it's so interesting. Y'all were speaking about studying to become an educator. I got my master's degree a couple months ago, but my first 2 semesters, I was getting my master's degree. I was studying education. I literally was about to go into education. But honestly, when you think about education, my mom's a teacher, and I talk to her a lot about how, you know, I manage communities online. And she's like, managing communities is kind of what teachers do. My classroom is a community itself. And my job is to manage that community. So I think that is what gears us as people who love to like create safe spaces for people. It gears us to creating safe spaces for these kids as they learn, as they grow. And I think that is the most important time to have a space where you feel safe, is during the years that you are growing up, because those are the years that help you become the adult that you are. But yes, I think that
incredibly true.
That's the common thing between all of us, and why we might gear towards education a little bit.
Yeah. My mom and both my sisters are teachers, all in the same school district. And I actually bounce a lot of my community ideas off of them because of what you're talking about. Like they are so ingrained in what community management is. It's just a different style of it. So I get so many good ideas from them. It's invaluable, the advice I still get from my mother at the age of 35. So I love it.
I love that folks are bringing up teaching and its relation to community management, because I literally just got a hotline call for my job. So my day job, I manage a crisis hotline, and our hotline serves LGBTQ survivors of violence, right? But I digress. The reason why I bring it up is because so much of community management and teaching and creating a safer spaces, a lot of it is not just working with marginalized communities or underserved populations. It's also working with people who cause harm, right? And that's not talked about enough, right? Because most people won't even self-identify as a person who's caused harm, right? But when you're talking about systems of oppression, we're not just talking about creating safer spaces for marginalized individuals. We're also talking about what tools are available for education, awareness, and like referrals, next steps, this and that, and the third, for people who do have power and privilege or proximity thereof. And what does it look like when you will also want them to utilize your services and be a part of your spaces while kind of informing someone, maybe for the first time, you're causing someone harm and here's why.
Yeah.
Chris-
Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, really quickly on that point. I think so true. Sorry, we're just getting carried away now. But yeah, I can't remember if it was SP or Rafi that said it, but the point of you can't make a safe space for everybody. There do have to be some people that get reprimanded or get, excluded if they are not participating in the very clearly laid out expectations. And like laying 100% Rafi, like dealing with those people that struggle to participate by making sure that the guidelines are as clear as they possibly can. Now we're saying make the guidelines as clear as they possibly can be, and also communicating it in a way that isn't necessarily condemning, but rather, okay, this is our expectation. You participate or you don't. And quite often you can turn people onto a better path that way. I don't know, just a really interesting.
No, it's totally true. And the funniest thing is, like, I was about to cut this segment out because obviously I was just making sure that Rafi was okay. But actually, we've ended up saying some really good, glorious things. So it's the wonder of live panels. I'm going to keep it in. So I'm going to come to you, Nell, because we've been talking a lot about safe platforms. We've obviously been sort of teasing the idea of Remag. Talk to us about Remag. Give us the pitch. It's a brand new app available right now in the US and Canada. Go.
So yeah, Remag is a new social app for people who love games, not just gamers. Found out a lot of people don't identify as gamers, so it's just for people who love video games and tabletop games. We're not excluding tabletop here, not in this household. But it is a way to meet like-minded enjoyers of video games and tabletop games across the globe. You did say right now we're only available in North America, but there are multiple facets to it. How many times have you been playing a game like Destiny or Diablo and you're like, man, I really wish I had someone to play with? Well, Remag is aiming to solve that problem in a variety of ways. One, we have Team Up, which is a way for you to create a profile and then pair you with people who like the same types of games. And if you match, you then can become friends. So kind of like just a way to find friends. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to play games together, but a way to find people who enjoy the same things you do. And then we also have LFG, Looking for Group, where for basically any game, you can create an LFG for whatever you want to do, whatever time you want to do it, and people can request to join it. And so if you want to go raid in Destiny, you can open it up, find 5 people, and then boom, hop in voice chat in an app and go do your raid. Aside from that, it is also it's a social platform. Let's be honest. So there's a place for you to obviously post your thoughts, whether it's like on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Also a place to hone your skills as a gamer. We have a very finely curated learning module that kind of helps you learn and kind of get the hang of some of the biggest games out there. So at its core, it's a way to find people that enjoy the same games as you across the globe once we go global.
I love that. I love the sound of it. I think it's really important. I think it's an amazing opportunity in a space between somewhere between Facebook groups, Discord, a little bit of Twitter, some training platforms, etc. We've obviously been talking a lot about safety. So what makes Remag a safe online platform?
A couple things. So one thing I didn't mention is in the app we have communities, so you can live in your own community and create it and be joined by like-minded individuals. Think of them as a very focused Discord server on the app itself, where you can meet people and post and match up and play games together. But on for a true safety aspect, built a top tier moderation team. That was like the first thing I did whenever I I got here and I started working on Remag, was making sure that our moderation team was, you know, top of the class. Like, we wanted to be the best, with some pretty strict community guidelines. There are a lot of things you can't do on, you can't say, you can't do on Remag, and that's by design so that everyone can feel at home and welcomed on the platform. And then we're building out a resource list, so to let people know that, hey, if you're having problems, this is where you can go. And then another big thing that we didn't think is a safety portion is when you join Remag, you can't actually upload a profile picture. You have to create an avatar within our system to kind of create your gamer identity on Remag itself. And it was actually talking to Espy and Coco Confession at GCX this year that we realized that this is actually a good safety measure for people to curb harassment based on someone's appearance. And in doing so, we have actually started working on like expanding that so that there are more options for people so that you can feel safe on Remag. We also have a moderation tool that kind of uses some algorithm to filter the way people talk and see what people are saying on the app, and hold posts based on what it learns and what it sees and how people change the language that they're using. If they go from talking English to leet speak, and like, do the kids still call it leet speak? I don't know. So there's multiple facets to what make Remag safe, but I think the top two are, one, we have the avatar system to curb harassment based on appearance, and our moderation team is on the platform 24/7, monitoring what goes through, what's said, and taking action based on our very in-depth community guidelines.
I love all of that, and I think it's really important to point out at this point that by the time this panel airs, fingers crossed, there will be a Gayming with a Y, our own community on there. And I think it's really important to point out as well, while we're sort of sat obviously in the presence of Rafi from NYC Gamers, and there's other gaming groups all around the world as well, that this is a tool that those IRL groups can utilize for their own community as well.
Very much so. I think about my Destiny clan is going to be using it to plan events. It's a way to stay connected in a very online world that we live in today. And I think that's one of the reasons that drew me to it whenever I was interviewing here, is because, I play World of Warcraft and a lot of my friends don't. Most of my friends play Destiny and play Diablo. They're the looter shooter subgenre. So I was like, oh, great. So I can find more people to play World of Warcraft that also think and act like I do. This is really cool.
I think as well, the thing I've seen in the preview that we had a nice little hand in developing as well is that people there's like rings around the avatar that people can kind of personalize. You can kind of earn and get extra rings and kind of really personalize who you are. And one of them is I believe there's two options for the full Pride Progress flag ring as well, that kind of Natalie animates and spins around your profile, which is really super cool too. So I think on top of all of that, just really quickly, I think we've spoken about it obviously, but just to kind of wrap it up on the Remag front, why then should people be joining Remag in confidence?
This is the $1 million question, but I firmly believe that's like the marketing question, right? No, I firmly believe that at Remag, we're creating a safe place for all people to not only express themselves, but to find new friends in the gaming space. If anyone's like I used to be, I didn't have a lot of friends. It was games that introduced me to the 3 people I now call my best friend. And this makes that step from not really having anyone to finding those friends a little bit easier. Instead of a random queue or joining a random Discord server, it's finding people who love the things that you love, while also creating a safe space for everyone to be online and to have a good time and to be a home in between your lobbies in games.
And we should point out that Remag is gamer backwards, which took me quite a while took me quite a little bit of time to pick up on, and I think it's just dawned on Espy as well.
No, But yeah, if you were worried or you're trying to find people to play games with, or you're just trying to find friends, know that we have created a safe space for everyone to come and play games and just be themselves. You can share your achievements and brag about how good you are to your friends. Or if you're not that great, you can go into the learning module and get better via Remag. You can post about your accomplishments. You can find new friends. You can schedule a raid or just schedule a Minecraft play session, whatever suits your fancy. Remag is a home, like I said, in between your lobbies.
Brilliant. Well, I'll definitely see you in the learning zone because I am terrible at most of the games. Remag is currently available to download, as we said, in the US and Canada. And for anyone that joins before the end of October and joins the gaming community on the platform, you could be in with a chance of winning an Xbox Series X in our giveaway. So we'll see you on Remag. Thank you, wonderful panelists. You've been fantastic. One last question to you all, which is a really easy one, which is where can people find you or your work or both online? So I'm going to start with you, Gemma.
So you can follow Raw Fury as a company on Twitter and Instagram. It's just at Raw Fury. And me personally, I'm very chaotic. I avoid any branding, but feel free to follow my insane person tweets at Gemathy. Truly, I just tweet about what I'm eating for lunch. So if you want to know what I ate for lunch today, follow me at Gemathy on Twitter.
What was it for lunch today, by Nicola?
I had a bagel with some cheese and some ham, and I toasted it in some butter. Oh my God. Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
Sounds good. Thank you. Rafi?
Y'all can find me anywhere on social media at Rafi Regulus, all one word. Or you can follow NYC Gamers at official NYCG.
Brilliant. And SB?
I totally lost my cursor just now. And I think that quite sums up me as a person. You can find me literally on all social media at SB Simone, ESPESYMONE. I spend a lot of time on Twitch. I tweet a lot of random things. I just recently got a companion pass for Delta. So now I get to fly the world for a very low price. So you can join me as I just tweet about all of the random things that I'm doing, like a podcast at 3 a.m. In Japan, where I literally just landed not even 12 hours ago. So come hang out with me.
Appreciate that. And now finish us off.
Yeah, so you can find Remag at remag.gg. That is our website. There you'll find links to our Discord, Instagram, and Twitter page. If you want, you can join the Discord and provide us with valuable feedback to help guide the direction of the app. If you're looking for my chaos, you can find me on all platforms at Nelstar15. I usually just tweet about my stupid thoughts in American football. So that's kind of where I live right now since it's football season. Yeah.
Brilliant. Very good. Once again, get down, if you're in the US and Canada, I should say, get downloading Remag. We'll see you on the platform. And with that, it's back to the studio.